All right, everyone, welcome to another episode of Wong Chat. This is a live show right now on twitch.tv/Photo. But of course, you can watch this on YouTube. Check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. We also have some bonus content on Patreon as well. If that's what you're into, go check it out. If not, that's cool as well. I enjoy having you all here. Thanks for the follow, thanks for the sub, and everything that you guys help us with. Today we have OhNips to be here, and she's a great artist. She is lots of fun. She does, I don't know, I met her last year at San Diego Comic-Con, and she is just a ball of energy. So they always do this. By the way, before I have her on the screen, I'll let you guys know we are not having this show next week. We're taking a quick break next week, but we will be back the week after. Anyway, let me bring her on, and then so we can start chatting. What's up?
Yes.
Hello,
Nips. Yes, chilling, dude. The quarantine.
Oh my god.
Quarantine got everybody. I just finished streaming today, trying to stream every day. Everyone. What happened?
What did you stream?
I've been doing iPad streams. So I just connect the iPad, I stream the iPad to the computer, and this thing called Mermaid is going on because every year, that artists have all themes. Every month we have Inktober, Mermaid, Huevember, and so you draw mermaids every day for the day of May, for the month of May.
Jesus
I joined in kind of late, but I figured that I was the whole point is that you just draw anyway. So I just started doodling yesterday, and then I did it today too. So I
feel
streamed for
all this stuff. There's National Boba Day. There's Mermaid Month. If someone just decided to make this and go we need to push that because there's a mermaid industry somewhere that's secretly telling people we're gonna push this.
Dude. I mean, social media, marketing, and capitalism, bro. You gotta have a day for everything. That's how it works nowadays.
That's exactly how it works. I don't know. It's tough though. Speaking of marketing, social media,
How much time do you spend on social media?
Good. You know what? I can actually check. Not as much as people expect. So I feel like most of the time I spend on social media is me creating and posting, not consuming. So average day use on the phone overall is 3.5 days. 3.5 hours, sorry.
Okay. I was wow, you got 3 days of phone. What?
Sorry.
I was I think your phone's trying to troll you here.
Sorry, average is 3.5 hours. And then I think I spent about over 2 hours on either Twitter or Instagram, kind of switch over between the two, and a little bit on Facebook.
Okay.
So, yeah, wow. Twitter actually a bit more. Yeah.
I've been cutting back. I just post and then I leave, and then I respond to some comments here and there, and then I leave because it's so exhausting.
Didn't your Instagram got mad at your old accounts and then they took it away from you?
Dude, I listen. I don't even know anymore. I just want to draw. All right, I just want to mind my business. I just want to do my thing, and that's what I was doing. And then everyone's like, "You can't draw that," and then it got deleted. Although to be fair, I instigated. Because I was I have a right to do this. And so people were reporting it, and it would get taken down. And I'm Hispanic, so I was already saucy. I was hell no, you can't do that. So I kept posting the picture like an idiot. And then people would keep reporting it. And Instagram auto-deletes your account once the post has gotten taken down 3 or 4 times. I was it's fine. I was I did this. I did this to myself. But honestly, it was kind of a blessing in disguise. This new account is really... It feels like a fresh start. It's doing much better than my old account, even with significantly less followers. And it just feels like a new home, a fresh start. So not too bad. Not too bad.
That's good. That's good. I don't know. Yeah. It's a weird thing. The problem is that people will use Instagram and Facebook and Twitter because it's free. We always talk about what if we go on a new platform, and it's hard for people to change their habit.
Yeah. And it's every time something new comes out, everyone has to run. Is this going to be the new thing? TikTok. I recently got on TikTok. I recently got one of my TikToks. Went. I don't know what's considered viral on TikTok, but one of them
all over the place now.
It is all over the place. One of them has 140K plays or whatever. And I was like, holy shit, it just like blew up like out of nowhere. And I'm like, is this how people become TikTok famous?
But
like
it's
you
always
just
the dumbest
wake
shit.
up. It's well, I have one dumb post. But the rest are just like art mostly.
See, for me, it's like my cool tutorial or like very nice, elegant photos and all the stuff. Nothing. Me in a skirt.
Yeah. Wait, you have that on your time to go check.
It's ridiculous. And there's like,
wait, is that the picture that you posted? You posted on Twitter, didn't you?
I did post some of those photos.
Instagram,
yes.
Instagram.
I post both Instagram and Twitter. That was my most engaged post on Twitter for April. Until
you're finally becoming those women that you take pictures of that all the guys think you are.
Right? Until it got taken over, and then by another more engaged post on Twitter, which was me spilling milkshake all over my desk.
Oh, I saw that. Where it was like who else like is having like I don't remember the caption, but dude, I saw that. Dude, I'm so sorry. Honestly, I would have just thrown the keyboard out. Did you just throw the keyboard?
I actually washed the whole thing and put it back together, but I still put it away instead of I just took out a new keyboard instead. Yeah.
Okay.
But
it's like not the same after it gets that dirty.
It's just not the same, exactly. And also like the new one that I have actually have a better, newer one the whole time, but I just haven't used it. I like, it's new. What's if mine gone bad and then or something? Then I need a backup one. But at the same time, it's like this is a good reason to use it. Other than all this time, I just never do it. So I guess
it was the world telling you that it was time.
It's actually I should like it now better too. It's like I'm driving a really old like Honda Civic or something, and then like, oh yeah, my other car is a Porsche, but I just don't drive it.
But you just
in the garage. I'm like, why?
You're peak first world problem.
I am
here.
So.
Oh my god.
I mean, I also got it for free too, so I shouldn't feel bad about using or having it too.
A verified influencer Martin Wong with 800 keyboards. My lord.
So you want to hear something dumb? I pissed my friend.
That's what we're here for, right?
So this is dumb, and I did it just to piss off one of my friends. Over Christmas, a friend of mine started to get into TikTok, because that's when everyone jump on it, and it's just like, oh yeah, I need to, get big on it, and that's gonna be my next platform. Hopefully it'll work, so it's just grinding it, posting video every day, recording those dumb videos every single day,
Excuse me? We don't need to shame here. Thank you.
They all do this. Okay, maybe you don't, but all these girls do this like scrunchy nose, a little like hello, very animated.
Like that. Listen, if it makes you look cute, do it, you boo boo. All right.
It does work. It just feels so dumb when recording it, and I hate myself too because I look at it and I'm like, damn, she's cute. Fuck, like.
Like so you're exactly. You're just hating.
It's just self. But then like I need to one up my friend a little bit just to ground her a little bit. Some friendly
competition.
Flex a little bit. So I went to TikTok and talked to them, and I did a few things. And next thing you know, I am a verified TikToker. My account is verified on TikTok.
I'm so honestly at this point, I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed.
And then I just show her, hey, let's grab lunch or let's grab dinner and let me show you something.
Oh no! Do you actually post on TikTok though, like regularly?
No, just every once in a while. And the most view TikTok on my account is just 2 kids dressed up as DJs, and that one has 3 million views. Yeah, it's dumb. It has.
But what is it? Are they like random kids? Like, did you just find
2 kids I found on at
oh my god! Oh, they're so cute.
Mouse and Marshmallow, and that's it. Yeah.
Oh my god!
And the other one that got 1.8 million views was this one, where it's my friend bowling. And
whoa!
I used a 360 camera to record it.
Dude, it looks so cool. Yeah. Is that gimbal thing or whatever?
Yeah, the little stick with the long. Yeah, that's why I use sometimes to record cool stuff. So.
Damn.
That has been fun.
Yeah, so you TikTok famous then? What's going on?
Nope.
No.
Look, I would post here. I think this one is. I like this one. Okay, just look at all these cosplay photos I posted in the last 10 years. Hold on, you'll skip to like this, and then it's just all.
Wow.
Nothing.
So
That
this
one
is
got
like a
like
time lapse of like
that's
all
like
the things.
600 views, and that's it. I like, oh, all right, cool. I guess
But
I
isn't
don't.
that like your life, Martin? That you post, you always get traction for things that aren't you.
It's dumb. I hate it. It's always about I don't know something I like. It's just that I don't care.
But
And
it's weird with you too, because like you post like, because it's like your art is photography, but a lot of the times these people are liking it because they're thirsty.
yeah. So here's the thing. In a perfect world, it sounds amazing. It sounds amazing because people like me or like my accounts because they like my content, not me.
Yeah.
That sounds so great, right? As an artist,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
like
Well, that's
they
what I
don't
was
judge me
saying,
about me.
yeah.
They love me for my content. But then again, they also
yeah.
only love me for my content. They don't give a shit about who I am, but also
Yeah.
technically what the content is, you know?
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend last night, Sonia, or OMG is Firefox, and we were saying this is what I do. I would post like 5 things that people obviously would like more, you know, like things that for thirsty guys. And then I'm like, okay, you guys like that? Cool. Now look at this thing that I like.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, no problem. We'll go back to 5
We'll
more
go back,
of those other things, and we'll come back. We'll circle back. We'll take a look. We'll come back, and then we're like, okay, how about
just like,
another RC thing? Oh no, okay, no. So I have to do the cycle every week and stuff like that.
That's so funny, dude. It really be like that though. Sometimes you just gotta go full shameless though. You just gotta just fucking.
Yeah. It also depends on like if I have clients line up. If I have some clients lining up, then I'll be like,
yeah.
Okay, let me scale back just a little bit and post not too like sexy stuff. Post more really pretty photos so that the clients will be like, oh yeah, this person's family friendly.
But like the clients that hire you, are they usually to do like sexy things, or is it just like a huge range of? Like,
it's a huge range. Like
gosh,
I don't know.
That's
it's hard
difficult.
to say. Like I have like 3 or 4 accounts, at least 3 active accounts on Instagram.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
I thought you only had one. What's going on?
my other accounts. Yeah, I know. One is all nude of myself.
One for each of your managers.
Oh yes. Oh man, all my managers. That is also me.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no, I have one currently is my main, you know. My main one is mostly portraits this day, but not because it's for portraits, it's what I'm into right now. The other one, of course, I have one for cosplay because apparently people don't understand the two. They can't mix it well together. And the and the last 2 is that one of them is a landscape one. So whenever I travel, I have some pretty landscape photos that I liked. I'm not too good at it yet. I'm still trying to. I don't know. I feel like I'm not good enough for that.
That's fun. You enjoy it, and you're like still doing it. So like,
yeah. And the last one is the sexy one, which is like lingerie, boudoir, all those stuff. Yeah. Some like implied nude. It's good though. Like as a photographer, we don't get banned. Like nobody report photographer for it because everyone that follows photographer that takes sexy photos, they follow it for that reason. So they won't like, I don't like this. Like, no, I do like this. This is why I follow.
This is why I follow. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
And I'm not sure if it makes it different because you are a woman and I'm a man. So they're like, no, F you, you know, for me, I'm sure they don't really care.
Yeah.
Like I've seen photographer post like full on nude. It's like, this is not censorship. Maybe a little, but it's not even. And then they get away with it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that like, that was the issue that I had with Instagram originally when my account got deleted, was that a lot of the system that is in place for things getting taken down and reported isn't even in the hands of Instagram. Like if you have enough people that don't like your post, which consequently for me turns out people that just don't like me, they'll just report my posts, even if there's nothing wrong with them, and the post will get taken down. Like, so it doesn't even matter if there's anything wrong with it. So a lot of people get away with it because nobody even wants to report it.
I get it. Like, here's the thing. I get it, but I feel like they should have an overall system that apply to the same. Let's say they have the right to report. I'm okay with them temporarily take it down first because the whole Logan Paul situation, right? People were mad that he was streaming in like, or YouTube or something in a forest, you know, where there's dead people.
Okay.
And then
I was waiting for you to give me context because I didn't know which Logan Paul situation you were talking. He's got a lot of situations.
So the video was up for like a few hours
Yeah.
until they finally taken it down,
Yeah.
and they were complaining that took too long. It's like, okay, I understand,
Yeah,
because if
yeah.
someone posted someone like beheading on Instagram, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah.
mass reporting should take it down first. But
Yeah.
I feel like the creator should allow to appeal, and you have to like look at it and like,
Yeah,
okay, never
yeah.
mind. Like we
Which
can
is
put it
what
back
I
up.
was trying to do, but there's no like formal way to do that, really. Like you just
Yeah.
have to and there's no like contact either, which was a huge problem with Instagram. Like I would DM them, I would tag them in posts, but like there's no way for me to appeal. It's just, well, your account got deleted or your post got deleted. I'm like, okay, well, start another one, I guess. But it's like people could do the same thing again. So I'm just like,
they have so
waiting,
many,
I guess.
Like, so many of those report in their system. It's a mess. Like, I got a few, like 2 years ago, I got a message from Instagram. I forgot it's an email or like a notification, and said like, oh, the account that you reported, we have taken it down. I was like, when did I report someone? And that was 8 years ago. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing. And then like, what? Who?
Dude, what?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh my god, that's a mess, dude. And I feel bad because it's like it's such a messy system, and I am lucky and fortunate enough that I have such like a loyal and like I'm really grateful for my fan base, because if it weren't for them, then me starting over on another account would be extremely detrimental to my career. But they ask about me. They're like, yo, what happened to your account? Like, where are you? Everything. But there are artists out there who have lost their accounts, who have lost their posts, who have lost things that don't have that. And then starting over is like, dude, like you work really hard. Like social media is a job now, you know, and like you lose that account, you lose those followers. And then what do you do now? You know,
isn't it weird? Our livelihood is depending on social media this day instead of the art itself.
Yeah. It's, well, the thing is that like it because it's the internet and everyone is connected, it then becomes infinitely competitive to the point that like the numbers are what make your career, because the skill you require the exposure. So it no longer even becomes about the skill. It's just how well you can get exposure for the thing that you do, regardless of how good you are, which is unfortunate. I had this conversation with someone where I was like, I feel like there are people who are much, much better than me that don't have like the exposure that I have. And I'm like, dude, like honestly, they would crush like everything that I'm doing. They would crush it, but they just don't have the exposure that I have.
Same.
You know, and it's unfortunate. You know?
I got lucky in the cosplay scene. I started shooting cosplay before the whole rise of social media, so I caught on the train as it come along. Yeah, so therefore I was able to build a following with that. But there's lots of other photographers these days are much better than I am, but they're not gonna get the same recognition that I do. And not saying I'm great at all. It's just saying how much people care about certain things and not the others, and it sucks.
Yeah. It's that's the world we live in, and it's like sometimes I wonder. Like lately, I've been thinking about it, where I'm like trying to get better. Like I've been trying to improve. You know, I've been doing this shit for like 10 years. And I'm like, God damn, and you have these like 14-year-old prodigies like doing what I do but better, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And so like I'm like trying every day to get better, but I'm like, at the end of the day, what the fuck does it even matter if there are people that like, if it doesn't even matter, like people just get popular, and then that's what's considered valuable, as opposed to like how good you actually are. So I'm just like, what even matters anymore? I don't know.
I actually
I'm trying.
I had this conversation with some friends before too, and that's, at least I feel like in the drawing art sense is a little bit better, but in the cosplay it's kind of like, actually it might be the same too, depends on the type of art, because in the cosplay scene it doesn't really matter what I do and how, like if the fans would like a photo regardless who shot it, especially they like selfies better, then why does it matter if I take it? And the biggest problem we have in cosplay, at least to me, is that it's such a personal individual thing, even though we're all technically small business, that's very small scale, but we cannot criticize and compare each other, and that's it's a big problem, because then how are company deciding who to hire, and also how are people deciding what is considered good? When you buy a phone, it could be like, oh, I think the iPhone is better than the Samsung phone because it has this feature, and that. But we can't say like, oh, this cosplayer is better than the other cosplayer. But as soon as you say that, people are gonna get really mad. So
Yeah, I mean, we live in a society nowadays that you can't really like criticize and judge. It's like unwarranted, like unwarranted
mhm.
criticism. Like people don't want that. And I see what you're saying. Like in a certain objective sense, like you could do that with art as well, where it's like, okay, like color theory and composition and this and that. You can say like this artist is better than the other,
Mhm.
but
It's not a number, so you can't just like this is 50 points and that's 51 points, so it's
yeah,
better, you know.
but I find it weird too because I think with you guys, what's really unfortunate about your situation is that what your art is the subject is someone else. So a
Mm.
lot of you guys, I think, go under the radar. Like I think you guys are underappreciated. It's like a choreographer, right? Like
Mm, mm, mm.
all you see when you see a choreography is like the people dancing
The
it and the
dancer,
artist
yeah.
dancing it. Yeah, but you don't think about like the choreographer who actually like like
Mhm.
you're behind the scenes, but what you do is so like like so like crucial to like how the picture comes out and how the artist and the cosplayer and everything is portrayed. But a lot of people don't see that. They just see the picture. They're like, wow, sexy girl, like great.
Yep.
So I think a lot of you guys as artists are really underappreciated.
What about for
Um,
you? Like I know people love you guys for the art side, but also
yeah.
what is the difference between making like sexy arts or like fan art of a different specific
Dude,
IP or like
you're gonna
original
you're gonna you're
creation?
gonna take you're gonna take me into that combo right now. That's a whole black hole of, oh my god.
I
I
feel like you
think
need like
I
a few
think
drinks.
I don't have enough drinks right now for this cover. I think I'm like my art is considered it's always been pretty 18 plus. Like I love drawing like really sexy things.
Mhm.
I draw non-sexy things, but in general, like 99% of my stuff is pretty like if not full on like nude or something showing, it's always almost implied.
Mhm.
Um and I think that I'm someone personally who enjoys like I like getting better and I like my skill to be recognized.
Mhm.
So I strive to be better. And a lot of the times with like sexy art, I feel like the standard is lower. Just because it's
Mm.
sexy, a lot of people will like overlook a lot of things. They're just like, oh, well, there's a butt, like, or I don't know if
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying makes any sense. Like, I feel like something is more likely to get popular if it's nude
Uh-huh.
because it's nude than
Yes,
because
yes.
it's
Uh-huh.
good. You get me?
Yes, yes,
So I
yes.
think
Mhm.
a lot of people will do kind of like sexy slash lewd art because it's like easier to get noticed when you do that, or fan art.
So
Like
do you
those
put
things are easier.
more or less effort in sexy stuff because like it's gonna blow up anyway, so I don't have to put in as much effort, or you're
Well,
like
I don't
no,
really
people
think
can see.
about it. I just put effort into everything. I genuinely like drawing like sexy,
Hmm.
like lewd things. So I don't really think about it. I just do it. I just do it. I like drawing dynamic, sexy things. So to me, I just kind of
Okay.
like, I don't, I think to me, I don't ride the waves as much. Like, I don't like do something because I know it's going to be popular because it doesn't make me happy. I'm like
Mm.
miserable. Like, when I'm working on something, I have to want to do it. Like, I really have to genuinely want to do it. Like, if I'm doing
Uh-huh.
something because I know it's going to be popular, I'm miserable. So I'm like,
Mm.
I can't do that. So I do what I do, and then I hope that somebody out there will like it. So like a lot of the time, sometimes I'll like do a drawing trend that was like trending like fucking like 3 months ago. And I'm like,
Uh-huh.
dude, now I want to do it. I don't know. Here you go. I'm late. Whatever. I don't care.
Speaking of which, like actually I have two questions for that, but like I'm gonna forget one other. Let's go with this question first.
Okay.
So or this story. Like
Mhm.
people usually would because I work with some of the big cosplayer, right? So they
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
and it's really rare because I get to work with people who set trend instead of following the trend. So they create demand instead of supplying to demand. Like I
Mhm.
wish cosplay is a bigger thing, and then I could feel like I'm doing insider
Yeah.
trading because
Yeah.
people would
Yeah.
ask me sometimes like, hey, what is blank and blank cosplayer gonna cosplay next week or next month? Because that's gonna be the
Wow.
next big
Do
thing.
you
Like
share that information?
sometimes I do. I'll be like, hey
Oh
friends,
no.
because it takes time to make cosplay. I'll be like,
That's true.
hey,
Yeah,
there's gonna
yeah,
be a
yeah.
thing. You should start looking into it. Just saying,
Yeah.
Imagine like
Wow.
imagine like George Bush just call you like, hey, don't go to Twin Tower on 9/11.
Oh my god. Dude, like That's true. Well, because cosplay like takes so much time
It
to,
does.
and I feel like with cosplay, like you could do the thing where you just like cosplay whatever you want, but I think in cosplay it's so much more like crucial that you cosplay something that's like in the moment to like get noticed. Just because like with art, I feel like it does take a long time depending on your art style and how much time you like to put into things. I definitely have things that have taken me like 40 plus hours. But in general, you can like doodle something. And yes, there is like closet cosplay. But in general, I think a lot of cosplayers gain traction when they do something like really like like quick as soon as it comes out, or like something that's like, so it's almost like really important that you be the one, you know,
like the whole bow set situation. Like,
dude, yes. Oh
yeah, that thing blew up like crazy fast.
And then people setting the trends with the blue one and the bullet bill one and like all the other ones that came after, dude.
Yep. So I'm like, okay, all right, I see how it is.
That was one that I actually drew the Bowsette because it was in trend. But I felt disgusting because I was like, I want to draw this because it's sexy and it's hot. But it's like in trend, and I'm like, I'm doing this thing also because it's like in trend. I'm like, God damn it! And so like the caption was
drawing
like, yeah,
and you go to the shower and go like,
I'm like, just crying. I'm like, nothing can be cleansed, dude. Oh my god, art trends, man.
So I was thinking earlier too, like, I know people always complain about drawing hands. I cannot draw anymore. I used to draw a little bit, but because my dad draw, and ever since that incident, I'm like, F this. But no, because I used to try drawing a little bit, you know, starting to get into it. I'll start drawing, and then my dad would come in and it's just like, here, let me help you out, son. And I didn't say anything. 5 minutes later, it's already 10 times better. I'm like, fuck, I spent 2 hours, 3 hours on this.
Does he still draw? Does he like
yes. He does like digital drawing too now, and they're still really good.
Oh, you'll have to show me.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
But I can say my photography should be better than him now. I think he does photography as well too. So it's like,
wow. Well, he's like creative, you know.
Yeah.
He's gotta do a little bit.
It's like those anime like manga characters, or whatever. The main character is cool, and then later, like few chapter or few like season down, you're like, oh damn, the father is even stronger. You know, like Bleach. You know.
But the son always takes over the father.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole arc. So you're on your way, Martin.
Let me show you my
got it in your veins. You gotta start drawing. Start drawing. It's in your veins.
But speaking on vein, is it so? I know people, it's hard to draw hands or it's like some special feature. Is it hard to draw dicks though? I feel like that's one thing that's hard to draw.
It depends. Like it depends. Like for example, like I have no problem like drawing human anatomy. Like a lot of the times, like it goes so far that it takes me about 1/10 of the time to draw a full human body like in real proportions than it does to draw a chibi. Like I have a lot of, I can't, Martin, I wish I was exaggerating. It takes me like fucking like 3 hours to draw a fucking chibi. Like I can't draw cute things. And then when I draw chibis, it ends up looking like a tiny real person because I don't know how to make things like big and cute and out of proportion. Like I can't do it.
Because it feels weird, right? Because
it feels
but
weird.
This head is too big, but
yes. And then it's like, oh, but it has no nose. And I'm like, but a nose exists. I need to draw the nose. And then they're like, but chibi hands. And I'm like, but actual hands. So then dude, it's like, it's too much. So I think it really just depends on what your strengths are and what you like to draw. So for me, I have no problem like drawing hands and the human body and dicks and tits and butts and everything. But like, if you ask me to draw a chibi, like I can't, like I can draw the chibi, but it'll take me forever. So there are a lot of people that are really good at drawing like chibis, cars, you know, buildings, backgrounds, and they can't draw the human body. So it really depends like what you're good at, you know. So
is it annoying when people ask you to like, oh, can I commission you to draw my emotes? Because they're like so small pixel. Like, fucking. A
lot of the times I'll just do like a real version of like the person and then make sure that when it crops down, like it looks like the person and it doesn't look bad because chibis are just too hard for me. Like sometimes I'll actually charge more. I'll charge more for the chibi because I know it'll take me less to do the real person. Yeah. Like like I just start making my badges, my a Twitch badge the other day so I can start having that. And I have to pixel it.
I record
Oh,
it, but
yeah.
for some reason I have a problem uploading it. But yeah, I just figure I make a grid and then I start painting it very slowly.
I saw it's like the little cameras with the
Yeah. Oh no,
yeah.
you see everything. I'm scared now. I feel like I'm being judged.
What do you think I was gonna come on here unprepared, mister? You better curate that social media feed.
Oh no. Yeah, dude. I try to post every day. Yeah.
Said, do you use photos as reference sometimes? Yes. So I actually get that question a lot. So I actually use myself as reference for
So
my
do you
art.
take a selfie first and then like photos and then
No. Like if I don't know how something works, like I have a mirror in front of me. I'm not in this desk, but it's behind me. I have like a circle mirror where like I can like make expressions and then like my hands, look at my body. Like if I don't know how something works, I'm like, oh, okay. And then I remind myself and then I just like draw it. And like, I'll like, I think like looking at yourself is like super important. So a lot of people are like, how do you make those expressions? I'm like, I make them myself into the mirror and then I just copy it.
That's how I teach my models as well too, having reference. Like I work with a lot of new models or not even models. They're just people who either, like getting photos or they like playing dress up. They could be cosplayer. But they're not modeling people because models is definitely different. Like that is their job. It's very different when their job depends, their livelihood depends on it. They're usually better, usually. But I tell people like, hey, if you want to get good at modeling or that kind of stuff, most people can, if they have experience, they improve from experience. If you can't, I would tell them to watch a lot of Disney movies, like especially the old ones, because the old ones
modeling.
Yeah, because the old ones, they don't have a lot of facial expression like Pixar ones, like the new Pixar ones. Very expressive, amazing. But because the older ones, they don't have those micro expressions, they're much more exaggerated. So that is a good way for them to learn it, then tone it back down a little bit. Like, I would say use that to begin, and then the second step is use a feeling. And if you can prove from feeling, prove from memories. Memories to feelings, feelings to expressions. And the professional model can go directly instantly to expressions, skipping all the steps. Yeah.
Dude, it's so much harder than it looks. Like everybody's like, yeah, you just stand there and you look pretty. I'm like, you really think like things are that simple, bro? Like being pretty is one thing, and then knowing how to like pose and like make yourself look good for your photographer and like what angles and what to do like instantly too, depending on what you're wearing and everything is like so difficult, dude. Like
there's also a problem too. I cannot stream or show my like sometimes I do if they're models a little bit better. For influencer, I can't really do it. I cannot show the process of how I edit because people are so thick skin. I don't know. It's just like
because it depends what you're editing too. That people might not like that you're doing that. Yeah.
I see everyone with 46 megapixel, and I can see every single flaw you have on your face, if that's
what is it? What you've gotten complaints? Like what do they say? What do people not like about it?
I haven't gotten complaint yet, but there are cosplayer or influencer who does not like a photo, and then after I post it, so I would just take it down and it's like, great, that would hurt my both engagement and both my the algorithm and everything. But I guess, but I know that some of them would not be okay with me showing the editing process. I know.
Wait, so you're editing pictures? Like they asked you to edit the picture? Like it's pictures you took of them?
It's not.
Are you just taking random pictures and then
random photos? It's just usually because I don't really do. I do some page shoots, but not that many. It's actually I take a lot less page shoot than people expected. So it's just like, hey, I got cool photos of someone at conventions, and I want to edit it, but I can't really do it because. So models fine because models are okay with showing their bare face, and that's how they are. They understand the industry really well. That is the industry. Yeah. But for influencer, it's more of a clout thing, so it's very different.
Yeah, but if you're taking the picture from online already, what would the problem be?
Sorry. Photos that I take of them.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But not a page shoot, but not like they hire me. It's more like, hey, I can't get a photo, and they're like, cool. And then
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
It's ironic because I have a following, so that's even worse. Like not a big one, but it's at least some following. So then they'll be aware of it, and but not
Yeah.
I'm not big enough to say this is okay, you know. So
Yeah.
it's
That's true.
a weird dynamic, you know,
Yeah.
situation. So the
Your
problem is
art
that
involves other people, so it is kind of like a weird situation that you're in.
I should just start doing selfies, you know.
You're just.
Really
I'm telling you, use your. I saw those legs, boy. They don't lie.
See, if I had a sister that has the same genetic as I do, I feel like people would love her. She would do really good on the internet. But I'm not a girl. It's the internet a little bit biased sometimes.
You don't have to be a girl. You don't have to be a girl. You can do it, Martin.
I do get free drinks. So from guys. I literally got more free drinks from guys than girls in my whole life.
That was with no makeup, right?
Hey, man. Yeah, and a free drink is a free drink. I'm not gonna judge, you know. Yeah,
yes,
exactly. $20. A free drink's a free drink.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god.
So yeah, so it's tough. So I can't really show what I do, but that's the thing. I spend 2 to 3 hours on my portrait photos usually, but people assume that I just press the fill button and it's done. It's like no.
Yeah.
And it's strange when they also comment things like, "Oh my god, her skins look amazing," or like she's so pretty, she's flawless. Like, yep. She's just born that way, not because I spent 3 hours on Photoshop, you know.
Yeah. Do you edit every single picture that you like take? Do you?
Definitely not. I won't have time for that. If I take 2 hours for a photo, if I take 10 shots, that's already, you know, 20 hours. Like I can't do that.
Do you take pictures and then be like, oh, like I'm gonna edit this later, instead of just taking the picture as if you were not gonna edit it?
Yeah. So if I do a shoot, most likely I will edit a photo because especially in cosplay scene, people get mad if I don't return photos. So so then it become weird because I would not take photos unless I feel like I know this will turn out to be a good photo. So at the conventions, I will just stand there and just look for a long time to see like which person have good expression, good cosplay, and you know, doing it. And then it's like I would love to shoot more, but they might not turn out great, and then you're gonna get mad because I won't process the photos that doesn't look good, you know, like at least to what the standard that I want. It will still be decent, but it won't be good enough that I want it to be out there.
Yeah. Oh my god, that's so difficult.
Do you have a problem with like your drawing too, like your sketches? Like, oh, maybe you don't want to let people see the bad sketches, you know? I don't know.
Well, because I stream, I've had to like learn to be okay with people seeing my process. At first, it was really weird because I'm very vulnerable. Like I'm drawing, and inevitably there are versions of the drawing that I have to go through that are bad sketches before I get to the real thing. But over the years, I've gotten used to being okay with people seeing those and just knowing that it's part of the process. But luckily, I'm very fortunate that at least with my commissioners, a lot of the times they're very trusting. They're not very picky. They just like, oh, like, I just want this. And so like, I'll send them a sketch and they'll be like, oh, I like it. Like, it's very rare that I get someone that is super, super picky. That's like, yo, can you change this? Can you move her right toe this way? Like, it's very rare. So thankfully, I'm pretty lucky there. But it is kind of unnerving to here and there to let people see like my ugly, like, you know.
Yeah, it
like,
feels vulnerable,
process.
you know. And like I feel like when I'm editing on stream as well, I feel like every like few minutes I say, hey guys, this is not done yet. This is just the process. Like don't
Especially if you're experimenting, right? Like I'm sure that you're an artist as well. So I'm sure like you're like, let me try this new editing technique, right? And it's like sometimes people don't know that. So then they see you kind of like fucking around and they're like, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's doing. And you're like, wait, it's not done yet. I'm messing around. I don't know what I'm doing. And you have to put like 800 disclaimers. Yeah. Like the last 2 days streaming, like that's been me. Like I'm trying new things on like Procreate and the iPad, trying new like brushes and techniques. And I feel like semi self-conscious because I'm like, oh, people that they don't know. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just like putting lines on the thing and hoping that it works. Some people are like, what is she doing? I'm like, I don't know. But if I think about it, like, thankfully I had many years of streaming to like talk myself out of that mindset. I just stop thinking, because if I think about it, I can't draw. Like, I'll just get art blocked and I can't draw. So I just have to like stop. I'm like, just keep going. It'll work out. Just keep going. So thankfully, the last 2 days.
That's a difficult on your end. For my us like drawing artists, you guys have to like if you draw, it's a creation process. Mine is still creation, but it's more manipulative than just straight up from creations. You know, mine's like Metal Gears. Metal. What's it? Full Metal Alchemist. I am taking some property and exchange it to some other properties. Kind of.
Else.
I can add on stuff like that, but if anything, I can always go back to a certain base that can be okay with it.
Yeah.
But with arts, you really have to like blank and hopefully maybe.
But there's always like pros and cons, right? Like you have that, but you also like, you're also dealing with someone that's like real, you know? So you have that where you have to keep that into consideration. For me, it's a blank canvas. I just do whatever the fuck I want. And at the end of the day, people could be like, her spine doesn't work that way. And I'm like, yeah, well, I want it to work that way. So fuck you. And that's the end of that shit. I want it like that. Her boobs don't work like that. Yeah, well, they work like that in my piece. So get used to it. But with you, it's like you're working with but you're working with a real person. So it's like, to a certain degree, like, yes, you have like a base, but because you have that base, you can only go so far before people are like, time to complain, you know?
Yeah, it's like, it's been 25 minutes. I need to complain. Like, this is time's up, you know?
Oh, no.
I have a little fun facts to share. Like, I actually talked to her about it, and we probably talk about it all the time too. Meg Turney and some other people, they have like overextending elbow.
Oh, so, when they like, I can't do it.
So for the longest time, I edit her photos. I liquefied and fixed it so then it looks like, you know, not overextended, you know, so it doesn't pop out. One time I didn't do it, you know, because I feel the picture was natural and stuff like that. And people just start commenting, oh, Martin Wong fucked up her arms and blah, 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 blah. And then she came out and thankfully she was really nice and she's always, you know, stand by me and, you know, help me out. And she's like, no, my arms were already fucked up. He says always fix it. You guys like that thing. So you guys are just complaining that he actually didn't keep it natural. Yeah.
What's funny is that they insulted her in trying to defend her. By calling your edit a fuck up when in reality you didn't edit it and they were just calling her arms fucked up, dude. That's so fucked up.
Yep. So that is life, and that's
dude, that's why you just keep your mouth shut and you just let people be.
There's so many times that I have to make things to be like, this is what people think is real, even though the photo is straight up photo, it's the real world. But
that's what I was saying, is that you're dealing with real people, so you have to like constantly think about like what people like think and know and see, like their reality. Like you have to think about that and like constantly cater to that. Like that's difficult. And like not only that, but like the person's reality, like her specifically is like such a good example. Like her reality is that she has like the overextending like arm. And like her reality of that versus like the reality of the people that see her. And it's so many things that you're thinking about while you're editing it. Like I don't have to think about any of that. I just open the canvas. I'm like, I'm going, whatever.
It's like as you said, some of them can go crazy. Like your spine doesn't work this way. Like One Piece art. Oh my god, they're like.
I mean, Luffy literally doesn't have a spine, so you know.
But the rest of the character, the proportion, everything is like, what?
I love it. All right, I love One Piece is probably my favorite anime manga. So you better watch out what you're saying.
No, I'm not. I have nothing against it. I'm just saying how crazy it is, and it's like, wow. And I'm surprised they're able to translate that into anime. Like, it's such a like. I feel bad for the animators. They're like, I guess I don't know how this works.
I mean, but that's like the beauty of art, right? And like animation, like everybody like working together to like make this piece of fiction and like bring it to life. I think that is so cool. They do such a good job.
They're huge in Japan. One Piece is still really strong there.
One Piece is, dude. The Tokyo, dude. I cried so much. I went to the Tokyo Tower. Obviously in Japan, and they have like 3 floors dedicated to One Piece. And it's,
I was there too. Yeah.
Did you go to the One Piece thing?
Yeah.
Did you eat at the buffet? Sanji's buffet?
I did not, but No, but I
Dude,
did go to because I went there and I stayed very close to it. Actually, I think you'll love this photo. But I stayed
yeah.
very near it that I was actually my hotel room. Every night I just see it. It's a beautiful view. Yeah.
Oh
And
my gosh.
I think you would like
You
it.
stayed at a place.
The thing is like again, it's my landscape, so then it's a different account, so you might not have seen it. But let me see.
Okay. I'll have to start finding
Yeah. Maybe
I
I do have a loot account here of just my own loot or something.
You gonna start an OnlyFans?
An OnlyFan. There we go. Let me make this phone
I
sideways.
mean, you're a photographer already. I would expect that OnlyFans to be popping. Oh my, dude, that's beautiful. Oh my god,
Room, and then that's the
dude. Oh my god, it looks gorgeous.
Imagine just sitting there listening to lo-fi.
Dude, I mean that looks like a fucking lo-fi background.
Yeah, I mean I also got really cool photos in front of it. One with my laptop and one with 2 glasses of loop. But yeah, loop.
Like lube.
Yeah, so we want to do a.
I don't know if I want context for that. Maybe is it going to be better or worse with context?
It's great. I think it depends what you see as better. It's not as exciting. That's why it's better. But it's also
quarantine
not
got
exciting.
You feeling some type of way right now?
I don't know where the photo is. I have it somewhere. I need to put it back on my phone. But it's such a pretty photo. So what we did is that it's one of my ideas. We were doing a challenge in Japan. I was there with Mac Turney and Ryan Haywood. And we're like, okay, what can we do? You know, we thought about, putting people in different costume. We did for a little bit, but like, what would be more fun? So my idea was, and we used it, was that we do loop tasting, flavor loop, and see if they can taste what flavor it is. So we put them in champagne glasses, and like they have them like blinded, and I give them the flavor and see which one is which, and they have to also like decide which one's better.
Oh my god!
And then after,
does it taste like anything? Can you tell?
I think it's mostly the smell. It tastes a little bit like soap, but mostly. I mean, they're edible. If they can go inside you, they can go inside you. So yeah. So yeah. At the end, after we're done, we just put it out into a photo. Anyway, yes, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, well, like technically, the way something goes in you is different depending on the orifice. So
true.
But
I mean, yeah, you can eat crayon, but I would not suggest you shove a crayon up your ass. So
I wasn't gonna put it that crudely, but yes, that is basically the gist of the point. Oh my god, I was supposed to go to Japan this year with my roommate, and like everything just completely 2020 ruined everyone's career, dude.
Right, I was posting yesterday. I was saying. So, all you people who bought a 2020 planner, how's that going?
Dude, yeah, dude. I was so ready. Like, everybody was like, yo, 2020 is my year. I'm going to do everything. 2020 happens. Nope, absolutely the fuck not. Although it's interesting because the way everyone's been kind of like adjusting to still kind of like achieving their goals. And it's funny because like now is the time where all the things that people were like, oh, if I had the time, I would do this. And now that everyone is stuck at home, this is the time to do the thing that you said you were going to do. And you got no excuses, no fucking excuses.
And they still don't do it.
And they still don't do it. Yeah.
How is it like, I feel like, I understand it affects me because I'm a photographer. I have to shoot people and go to events. How is this affecting you though?
It's weird. I thankfully work from home, so I can still be employed insofar as like people are coming to me for work. But because my job depends on other people consuming and buying my stuff, it's definitely a lot slower than normal. But I also feel like weird being like trying to like make money, because like I know that it's a hard time right now, so I don't want to be like I literally just opened my website and my store, and it's like I feel like weird being like, oh, by the way, I opened a store, come buy things during this hard time. But it's also like
this non-essential thing,
Yeah, like it's super non-essential. I'm like, here, buy this really sexy art that I made of a collie. Like, who the fuck needs that in a fucking, like quarantine and global crisis? Like I feel like an idiot. But it's also the way I have to talk myself into it is that I really like I'm going through a hard time right now too. Like I still haven't fucking filed taxes. They pushed it back to July, thank God. But I'm not, like I'm not immune to that. I had to open commissions as well just to, stock up some extra cash. And I feel kind of bad too, because like I'm a personality. Thank God, like I'm gonna be doing something potentially to raise money for the coronavirus and like relief funds and stuff. But I feel bad because I'm a personality. Like I'm not super famous, but you know how like people expect those people to like do things. But it's like I'm not like I don't know how much money people think I make. Like I'm not like super rich, that I could just be.
We are all in that same situation. We all think that. So it's weird because we also have the mindset to teach ourselves that we have to fake it till we make it. Because we kind of did that starting out in the very first stage, but we never know what is made it. And people assume that I do very well too. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, you have like 800 keyboards, but you got them for free.
Yeah, but what can I do with keyboard? I can't pay my bill with keyboard.
Well, that happens to me too. Is like a lot of people will like see my setup or like things that I own and be like, "Wow, she's so well off." And I'm like, "Dude, like a lot of these things that I've had are because like I've hurled this chair for 5 years from California to here, like there and back. Like I've had this chair for like 5 years. So like a lot of the things that I've had, I've hoarded and like collected them over the years. And that's the reason why my setup is the way that it is. Not because I'm like, moved to a new place, time to spend $3,000 buying a bunch of new shit. Like I don't have that kind of money. But people like have this like concept of, what making it is, and that because you're kind of well known and you have this setup, then all of a sudden you have like this above average amount of money, like it's really not like that. Yeah.
And here's the thing, it is our job to, showcase things that we have or things that clients or sponsors give us. But sometimes people don't understand. It's like, we get all these free tools, equipment or stuff, but then we don't get paid. So it's like, that's great. But money, that would be better. Yeah. And I'm like,
I feel like if it's something that kind of like, for example, like I got this tablet from Wacom, which obviously it paid itself. Like I didn't get paid just to be sponsored by them, but the new tablet in and of itself like paid for itself. Like it helped me. And the reason that I decided to give my old one away was because like I got this one for free. So I was like, let's pay it forward. Like I don't have an abundance of money, but I do have like this tablet that works just fine, that I can give to someone else that is expensive in and of itself. So I know it'll go to someone else. So I feel like if you get something that can kind of like aid in your job and help you make money, then sure. But at the end of the day, you really are sometimes like not getting paid. And it really won't, like sometimes getting a new chair is not going to put a roof over your head, unfortunately. Like
you can't go to your landlord and say, how about a chair?
How about a chair? What's the market value for a chair right now? Is that
how you like a keyboard?
Yeah.
How many keyboard do you need?
Do you want it with a drink on top, or do you want it without?
I can sign it and say I officially spilled milkshake on it.
So how is the quarantine affecting you? Because you can't go out and take pictures.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do?
So here's the thing, right? Like, first of all, I think my immune system is amazing. I told you this before, but I could have either gotten it already and had no symptom and also got over it already. Because there were 2 days that I was like, my throat is kind of itchy, and I think this is it. This is how I'm gonna get it. But then nothing happened after that. But then I was like, I don't know. I was so I feel like I can still shoot, right? Because like my photography, I use a long lens. I have to stay 6 feet away from them anyway. So technically I should be allowed. But the things are like, all the events are canceled, so I can't really go to them. I'm supposed to fly out to different countries for different shoots as well. That didn't happen. So that definitely create a problem for me. But I don't know. Are
you doing like an alternative, like through streaming? Are you like, what are your alternatives? Like, what do you do?
So I do a little bit streaming. That helps a little bit. But I don't know. So this is the time to actually figure out what could be the next thing as well. Because my two sources of income are two different things. One is photography. The other ones that I have a company that I work with content creators and work with companies like influencers, marketing, stuff like that. But we have no events, so that's not happening right now. So that changes up a little bit too. But so we'll see. We'll see. Streaming is definitely a new idea. I thought about doing editing commission. I want to get into product photography.
Product photography. Ooh.
Yeah. But I'm not sure when is that gonna be, possible, or like how
do you even
advertise
clients? That? I mean,
I guess it's just a bunch of photos and then like, look how good this look.
Here's a picture of my cup.
Yeah,
a really nice new cup.
How about you pay me to take a picture of your cup as well?
Dude, oh my God, the photographer life. Dude, the business, all of you guys, like the show business in general has been like down the tank, dude. It's so unfortunate. Like people that make money off of that is just like losing their job. All the events, like, because those people only make money if the event like takes place. So a bunch of people just like losing their jobs.
So here's the weird part too. Like all these events that has book convention centers and company bought booth. Yeah. I always wonder now, it's like, who's taking the money? Like someone has to lose them. Like someone paying the event, so someone is losing money. So who's getting the refund? Like does the convention go like, oh, you pay us already for the event, so
well, so like for Anime Expo and Fanime, I didn't get tables for either of those, but I still got an email because I applied for them. But the people that got tables, what they're doing instead of refunding is that the table will be eligible for 2021. So if you got a table for this year, what they're doing is that you'll just have a table for 2021. So basically, the people that didn't get tables, not only do we not have tables for this year, we don't have tables for next year. So I gotta wait till 2022 to have a table at Anime Expo or Fanime.
Well, for you, I'm sure you can find a way to get a table if you want it. That's depends on which one to do.
It depends. Like I could either share with someone, which typically I don't like to do because I don't like to take away like space from like the artist that's there. But potentially the way I see I might get a table is if I do the dealer's room, because those tables have a lot of space. And usually a lot of the artists that do the dealer's hall, they like to share because there's so much space and it's super expensive. Table up there, it's like 1.5 to like $3,000 or something.
I went to the Artist Alley in the Anime Expo this year. It wasn't like this before, so it's a little bit different. I don't know if I like it. Did you go
to Anime Expo?
Yeah, this past year, not this one, but yeah. So it's like downstairs, and I don't
in the garage. I had a table
in the garage. Yeah. So it's kind of like New York Comic Con. It's not bad. I don't know if I like it better or like is the traffic still as good because like people can't find it. But it's really crowded too. It's AX.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like it's not that people can't find it per se, but because there's so many people going and it's so crowded, like it's become like a hot topic. Like it's like someone will go there because there's just so many people going and it's gotten so popular. Like AX attendance and Fanime attendance like goes up like exponentially like every year. Yeah. Like they've had to change venues because like there's so many people. Like there was one year in Anime Expo where like they didn't even have like they had problems with the AC for Artist Alley. There's like too many people there, and then without the AC problems, like everybody was suffocating. But I'm from Miami, so I was like, what do you mean? This is like normal weather.
I'll just die.
Guess I'll just die. Yeah, but so to me, like it's not that I like it or don't. I think it's pretty average, and like, what are you really gonna do? When you have like hundreds and thousands of like people and artists, and you need a good space to like have like giant stands and things that go up to the ceiling. Like, where are you gonna put us? Like, where are you gonna put us? And then you have to host an entire convention too. So at the end of the day, I think they're doing the best that they can. I think, like obviously with a couple things here and there, but
So I'm not sure if that's gonna be so. Is more in person or is like more online? Is there artist drama or like what is there's gotta be drama sometime, but what is the artist type of drama?
I know I stay away from all of that. I'm a change. Listen, I'm turning 30 this year. I just want to draw. All right. I am too old for this shit. All right. I post my shit and I get out. But normally the drama is like someone drew something that they shouldn't have drawn, which I've been there.
Wait,
someone
why?
Said some shit that they
what is
shouldn't
considered
say.
shouldn't? Is it like someone else style or copying?
Like you didn't draw someone with the right proportions, you deleted someone's spine, you used the wrong skin color, you did a fan art, you did a gender bend, or you did a fan art that you shouldn't have done, or you drew someone the way that you shouldn't have drawn them. Like it's so much. Or there's the other side of the drama where it's like not between artists sometimes, but other people using art, like, you know, not crediting artists, or, you know, like sometimes even like referencing like artists that for example, like Ross Draws had an issue a while ago where he was like almost like directly referencing pictures but without like sourcing it,
because they draw over pictures.
So there was that issue as well.
That is a weird one. Do you have to reference the photos or credit the photos if you use it as a base? It's kind of
it's weird because like normally, like if you use the reference, ideally the whole point is that you don't draw over it. You're just using it as a visual reference, and you're drawing your own version of it. I don't know. I know that Ross draws, he paints over pictures, but I think they're pictures that he takes. So that one that got him into trouble, I don't think, I don't quote me on this because I don't actually know, but I don't think he painted over that one. But the reference was so exact that, and he didn't like credit it, that there was a huge issue. And I think it was like a stock image, like the person took like a stock photography, and like he didn't like credit. But in general, like when you take a reference so heavily, because it was pretty obvious that it was like, that's what he was referencing, ideally you would want to credit, you know, like I don't use a lot of reference, like if any at all, which is why I don't really have that issue. I just don't use reference for like anything, because I don't like it. It's like dicey. Like when you get into that territory, like I either go the full way and I'm like, listen, I'm studying, here's the reference, whatever. But in general, like I don't like to use reference almost at all, because I don't want to get into that territory. I just don't. It's too confusing, and honestly, I have more fun without reference. So I don't know. But yeah, the art drama is, you know, it's sometimes it's really petty, sometimes it's valid, sometimes it's just exhausting in general. So I just try to stay away from all.
You have a following. The more following you get, the more likely you'll be like, yeah, we will kind of making sure that's like, we don't like you because you have following. That's it. That's pretty much how it is.
I mean that is true, but also like you'll definitely accumulate things that you've done yourself that will give people like warranted reasons to not like you, and sometimes they'll take those and then blow it out of proportion as well.
And also it changes all the time. Like what's considered okay now, it will not be okay in 10 years or vice versa.
It's that's why I just mind my own business, and I'm like, listen, I'm gonna draw, I'm gonna do the thing, I'm gonna post it, I'm gonna do it. I literally, like Martin, like my crazy young days are done. Like I literally just want to draw. I want to listen. I have my will to live is so low that I just like I don't have the energy anymore to get online and fight people. And like people that have followed me for a long time, like Martin, like I swear to God, like I wish I was exaggerating, but like I have rug all over my house, and like my roommate and I joke about this all the time. But when I drop food on the rug, like my will to live is gone. Like I drop food on the rug, and I'm like, end me now. Just strike me right now. Like I have to clean the rug. I lose the food that I took forever to make, and then I can't eat. So like I'm done. Like that's how low my will to live is. I don't have the energy to like get online. And if you stain the rug,
you have to remember that every day.
Yeah, like, and I have to be reminded every time I see the stain on the rug.
So but drop red wine. Yeah,
just don't drop the red wine. Yeah, but it's people that used to follow me a long time ago, they knew like I was always online. It's mentally exhausting to just be online all the time and engage and like, you know, go back and forth and post your opinions and everything. And like I kind of see why influencers nowadays, at least like the really popular ones, like they just don't do that. They're just like, I'm gonna do my like it's almost like they're their own bubble. Like they just kind of like do their thing and then that's it. I feel like you kind of have to. Yeah, you kind of like if you want to stay sane. Like, do you engage? Like you just post, right? Like
So
Sometimes I see your tweets where like you like kind of go
yeah.
back and forth a little bit. Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. My tweet is like, so here's the thing. Like I talk about this a lot with
Yeah.
other people as well. It's like, do you want? So you keep promoting be yourself, but you don't like me being myself because when I'm being really
Yeah.
real, you don't like that. So you have to like the fans can make up their
Yeah.
minds. Like, do you want me to be
Yeah.
real, or do you want me to be like, oh, just happy, positive, always pretty flower kind of thing? So, but at the same time, I want because especially as a photographer, and that might
Yeah.
apply to you as well because people don't really see me or like know my opinions or how I see things.
Yeah.
So I think it's more important for them to know, hey, this is how I see things. That's my view. Again, if it's, you agree with it, great. If you don't, that's your thing, not a problem.
Yeah.
But because they have a lot, they
That's
make a lot of
interesting.
assumption for us, for me
Yeah,
especially.
yeah. I let him do it actually. Like I used to do that where I was like, okay, well, here's my opinion on it, and I think it's important for you to know. But nowadays, I actually don't like. I don't share my opinion on a lot of things. Like, and I go out of my way to not share my opinion on a lot of things because I don't have the energy to like. Even if like people don't like it, I'm okay with people not liking my opinion. But to me, it's exhausting. Like to put my opinion out there. So I just don't do it. I'm like, I just put my art and you can make whatever assumptions you want about me, about what you think that I think, but I will not tell you what I think. I don't want to engage in that anymore.
So here's the weird part, because like I never study art. Actually, did you go to school for art?
No,
or did you?
No.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So I didn't go to school for art. I always wanted to do business related stuff. I'm a marketing kind of person. So it's conflicting, right? Because on the art side, it's like you should just create and do what you love. But on the marketing side, is that people always say,
excuse me.
bless. Because sometimes people say like, oh, you should not care what people think. It's like, no, you should. As a marketing person, that's all you're supposed to be doing. That's literally what marketing is about. Caring about what people think and then maybe change it accordingly. And there's a problem with especially politics these days too, is that everyone say, oh, don't get into politics and don't, let people do whatever they like. But that's exactly what our president is doing. And now you're not happy because people are doing exactly what they wanted to do. They voted for someone that you don't like. So you don't get to be mad if people do whatever they like, if that's what you promote. But it's one or the other, so that's how I see it.
I mean, you described we live in a society, because the society we live in is extremely hypocritical. That's why, like, you end up bashing your head against the wall. If you try to make any sort of, like, common sense, like, logic, you bash your head against the wall. And I don't want to do that because I bash my head against the wall regularly without that. So I don't want to do that. So that's why, like, Martin, like, you're going to go in circles thinking about the logic, because everything you're describing, they do it with everything. Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense.
And so with the whole cancel culture, a lot of people don't just want to be right. They want you to be wrong. And that's such a weird goal. Like, and
they want you to be wrong forever. And they want you to be wrong forever.
You cannot change or improve even if you agree it's the wrong thing to do. It's a mess.
It really is a mess, but that's the only thing you can do is just kind of like keep looking forward, do your thing, kind of like tunnel vision on your goals, get better, make sure that you're doing right by yourself and others, and then just kind of keep going, because what the hell else are you supposed to do, really?
That's why that's why I have to be a little bit more vocal sometimes about how I am. Like I told you about how my it's a horrible dating life as a photographer. It's like assumption is always great. Like, oh, photographer, great, looking sexy naked chick, amazing.
Oh god, yeah.
That is not a good thing, apparently.
Yeah.
So weird
that
life
happens to me too, where they're like, oh, girl that draws hentai, and I'm like, oh.
Oh yeah. What is the assumption for girls that draw naked people?
Well, what's interesting, that I have this weird like situation. I don't know if it happens to other artists. It could happen to male hentai artists as well. I'm not sure, but I have definitely heard it from other girls that do draw hentai and get commissioned them. But there's some weird satisfaction from the commissioner. Sometimes they just commission you because they want to know that you're drawing it. So sometimes like they don't even care what the drawing is, as long as it's hentai, because they know that you, a girl that they may or may not be attracted to, is drawing the drawing that they paid for. So knowing
Gotcha.
that I'm drawing something naughty that they
Uh-huh.
paid for them
It's a
is
turn
in
on.
and of itself. Yes, yes. It's like
Ah,
this weird like
I guess it's
niche,
kind of
like
like
yeah,
fake lesbian porn, you know? Like majority of
kind
lesbian
of.
porn is not really for women. A lot of them
Yeah,
are
yeah,
fake. It's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, so they
yeah,
enjoy
yeah,
them being in that process, but not
yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
care for.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do people ask you to
Yeah, it's
draw?
weird.
Do people ask you to draw feet?
Yes. Yeah, yeah. I get well, they won't ask me like outright to draw the feet.
Uh huh.
They'll ask me like to draw a general piece and then they'll be like, "Oh, can you focus on this? Can you focus like on the feet or can you focus?" And listen, I'm not here to kink. Out of
Oh
me,
yeah.
out of all people to kink
Uh huh.
shame would be the most hypocritical thing of all time. Like I know that my regular viewers would not let me get away with it because I'm super vocal. Every time I'm drawing, I'm like, here we go, pube trail, fucking draw it on every single fucking drawing that I have, so I can't kink shame. But they will tell me like, oh, can you focus on the hands? Or I'm really into this. Can you focus on this or whatever? And the one thing sometimes that I do get asked a lot is to draw not safe for work of real people, which
Mm.
I'm like,
I feel.
no. I've gotten requests that are like, yo, can you draw like not safe for work of Pokimane? I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, what is wrong with you?
Oh yeah, that would be right. No,
Like
that would not
that
go
is
well.
no. Like I don't. I always tell them I'm like, no, not safe for work of any real people. And the only times I've done not safe for work of real people is if the person themselves is the
Yeah.
one
What if it's
commissioning.
themselves or the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
girlfriend or
Which I
boyfriend?
rarely do either. I've done like once or twice, but only because they were friends and like it was because that's a very intimate thing. Like that is like very like a sensitive. Like I typically don't do that. I'm like, can we just stick to
So,
fictional?
so,
Like,
so, so, because here's the thing, right? If
fictional.
you draw a real person, do you want to draw it accurately or do you draw it like very fantasy? Like that's kind of a
Well,
thing you
my
have to
art
decide,
style is like semi-realistic, so I
right?
typically like lean towards like more realistic. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah,
But would
yeah.
would make a person feel weird if they do not look like that in real life? I don't know. Like, okay,
They,
so it's the same with like how I shop people, right?
I always try to keep it as accurate as possible, unless stated otherwise. Because there are some
Mm-hmm.
people who will be like, "Oh, I don't like this about myself. Can you change that about me
Mm-hmm.
when you draw me?"
The same
So
with me
that way,
photoshopping. You know, I'm deciding,
yeah,
do I shop
yeah,
them to be
yeah,
like to the extreme where they look very, very pretty that's
yeah.
not
Oh
them
my
or
God. Have you gotten times where the person that you're editing will get mad because you edited something you thought they wanted edited?
oh
But then they
yeah.
were like, wait, yeah?
Oh yeah,
That's
definitely. Like it's strange, right? Like I don't know.
the,
It's like sometimes like, oh, I can make you have very nice skin, and they're like, no, I don't want it
yeah.
realistic. I want to be fucking blurred out. So like, but that doesn't look good. You want to people think that you look very, and they
Yeah,
want, or like they
yeah.
want they want to change their shape all the time. It's strange, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
again
yeah.
hypocritical, you know. Sometimes like, oh, I want to look very pretty, but I want it to be real. It's like, but if this type that you wanted, like you want that kind of figure that doesn't exist in real life, but you definitely cannot
Yeah,
have that because that's not humanly possible. But you want that.
yeah,
So what do you want? You know, you have to. So I have to go back and forth and
yeah.
kind of. So here's my trick. If
Find
I
like a middle ground.
if you're talking about cosplayer or not model, but cosplayer influencers, I'll look at actually we'll go through their profile photos and see what
Yeah.
they like back when Facebook was really big to see what photos they like of themselves and use that as a reference to like that
As
is
a
what they
reference,
consider as a perfect
yeah.
image of themselves. And you know what kind of angle they like, what kind of
Yeah.
smaller chin they like, or bigger eyes or
Mhm,
whatever. So
mhm, mhm.
yeah.
Damn. That's wow. It's like, but it's like what I said, dude. Like you're dealing with real people and like how they like see themselves and they're like on there. So that's
Mm-hmm.
I find that like so because like I find that hard because I'm drawing them. Like when I draw people, like I always get scared because I'm like I want to make sure that it looks like them, but
Uh-huh.
I also want to make sure that I'm not like altering too much of their essence. Like I don't want
Mm-hmm.
them to feel offended by the way that I decide to portray them artistically,
Not a
which
character. Mm-hmm.
yeah, like thankfully like a lot of the people that commission me know what my art style is. Like they're coming to me for my art style.
Mm-hmm.
So I rarely have any issues with people being like, "Well, I don't really like how you drew me," because they kind of know what they signed up for. Like they know like my art style. Like no one will ever look at my art style that commissioned me and be like, can you try another style?" I was like, "Well, you know why you're here." Like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm thankful for that, but there have been like very few times where they'll be like, I don't like how you drew my like the size of my forehead, and I'm like, but your forehead is actually that big, like, and then I'll change it, but then it doesn't look like them anymore.
Nobody
So
like
I'm
their
like,
forehead. Here's a
yeah.
secret. In Photoshop, I actually bring people's foreheads lower all the time. Yeah.
Always?
In the last year, because I got other photographers do the same thing as well. Like a lot of features that we like as human has to do with biological. Like we like bigger eyes, bluer eyes, smaller forehead. Because like as we go older, our hairline recede, right? So especially for male, we like women who has features that look like they're more likely to able to carry child. That's just a biological feature, not because of, and those features associated with a younger kind of body that can carry child without miscarriage. So, because any guy, like we're talking about like thousand years, millions of years bigger. If they like a woman who cannot carry child, most likely they will not have child in the future. So then natural selection, you just have people who are able to date and marry people. Well, not dates. We're talking about cavemen. We're marrying people, not even marry, having.
The cavemen gonna get on Tinder and swipe right.
Exactly. You're gonna like someone who are able to carry child, and then therefore they will actually have child, and then that's how they keep going, and that those people survive.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So those features. That's why people like boobs.
That's why. I mean, listen, boobs and butt.
Boobs are
You
great.
know, like
yeah. I'm not a
like
butt person though.
No.
Because I'm Asian.
Like
that is not in our culture at all.
Is it not?
That's why you see a lot of Asian.
I mean,
Asian girls. That's why
the appreciation is different.
That's why we like mini skirts and legs, because because I didn't understand this until I talked to different people about it.
Yeah.
Like Western culture that like butts more. You can wear mini skirts if you have a big butt, because it will just all pop out and the skirt doesn't make sense. It doesn't look good. But for Asian, they love wearing mini skirts because they don't really have a butt, and then that's where accentuate their legs. So then that's where the culture will come in. Yeah. See,
so you like boobs, so you're a boob person.
So I love doing this podcast because I can explain better. If I just go on the internet, it's like boobs
if you have to
greater
put
than
this on
butt.
the tweet,
Yeah, but what, 220 characters? Yeah, no,
200
that's not
or whatever
enough for me to explain.
Yeah, oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic, so I'm a butt person.
I never knew what you were, because is it a good thing? You kind of like a racially ambiguous?
I don't think it's a good thing. I don't know. I try not to talk about like where I'm from or anything, because I don't want to be the Lele Pons who's like, I'm Hispanic. Did you know I'm Hispanic? Like, I hate that. But as soon as I start speaking Spanish or like listening to Spanish music, people will ask me. So then I have to be like, well, I'm Dominican and Spanish. And it's weird because like my mom's side is Dominican and my dad's side is from Spain. Okay. But my dad is we would consider him Dominican because he was born in Dominican Republic, but only because like his mom moved from Spain and then had him in Dominican Republic. So like he was raised, he looks not Dominican at all, but he was born and raised in Dominican Republic, and that's how he met my mom. So my mom's side, they're all like brown with like curly hair and like, like typical Dominican. And then my dad's side is like super white, like straight hair, like blue eyes, So I'm brown with like straight hair. So a lot of people are like, what is going on here? What is this? So I go to Dominican Republic and they're like, your hair is not curly. So you're not like Dominican enough. And then I go to Spain. And then when I go to Spain, they're like, you're too brown to be Spanish. So I'm like nowhere. And then when I'm online, people like don't understand. They're always like, what are you? And I'm like, honestly, I don't even really fucking know. So I don't really like it, because a lot of the things that I do or say, like people will immediately always want to ask me, like, where are you from? Where are you? Why do you speak this? Why do you do what you do? And then they want to justify everything that I do based on that. So I try not to like to say that I'm a girl. Like I honestly like don't even like that either. Like even the the emojis, like I don't even like using girl emojis either. Like I just use like either the male ones or like the ambiguous ones, the non-binary ones that they have now. Because I just don't like. I don't like people like, well, you have success because you're a girl.
That's a weird thing. Like, it's it's a weird thing to have, right? It's like I don't want my success or my failure is contribute to what I was born with. It has to be like what I did, you know.
Yes,
So
yes.
of course, I have the cultural problem too. Like I'm too American to be for Asian. I'm too Asian for American. So, but they always have the guessing game too. Whenever an American see me, a white American, they'll look at me. They're like, "So, where are you from?" And then I would give them some
What Asian
roundabouts.
are you? Oh my god.
I'm from LA, but where are you from? And then the body gets smaller and smaller and just crunching into the floor. It's like, oh, I went to, you know, I grew up in Bay Area, up in NorCal, but where are you from? And then I keep going deeper, and eventually, like, okay, I was born and raised in Hong Kong. See,
there Linda, it is. That's what I was.
I told you, Linda, he's Chinese. I've been to Hong Kong before. I love Kung Pao chicken. It's like, cool.
That's what they wanted, Martin. That happens. I only know of that struggle because my roommate is Asian, and when we go out, sometimes like it's always like it also like happens semi like without saying anything because we don't look like we belong together. Like when we hang out, we don't look like we're friends, but we're like best friends and roommates. So like a lot of the times we get like stares. Like, you know, like they look at her, she's like tiny and Asian and she just wears like reserved black clothes. And then I'm like taller, brown, Hispanic and loud. And like I wear hoe clothes. And so like when we're together, we don't look like we belong together. So we always get like stares of like, what's going on here?
See, this is what I needed to do back in the days when I was shooting for my school. I used to shoot for UC Davis. That was where I worked for a little bit. They like, I don't know, I forgot how they phrased it, but I just remember they just want diverse photos. So they want me to grab someone brown, someone Asian, and then like another guy, and then a lesbian. Like, how could they even show someone's lesbian? Like, I don't know, but they want it. It's like, oh, I don't know. So they need one of those, and then put them all in one, and just eating lunch at the DC or like whatever together. This salad is hilarious.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
Yeah. But it's weird. So again, I don't want people to judge us. Attribute, attribute that because. But it sucks to be an Asian guy though. I feel like it's better now.
It's better now, right? Isn't it like a thing with like the rise of K-pop that like Asians are like?
I'll take it. Like, I mean, yeah. It's like it's not the best, but I'll take it. Whatever it does, and it sucks too because like. Yeah, you know, we have problem with different countries and different ethnicity, and it's like, but Asian Americans also very different than people from that country. You know, like I was worried for this whole coronavirus thing too. I was worried a little bit too.
No, dude, I heard about the stories of like the prejudice happening here. Even my roommate, like she's Asian, and we were going, and like people would just like if she wore a mask, like people wouldn't get near her. She's like, I can't even wear a mask because people won't get near me. And I'm like, dude, like, that's insane. Like, dude, yikes, man. Yikes.
So
and like our president doesn't help either.
Oh, no, it's a mess. It's totally a mess.
Have you experienced that? Like, have you had like firsthand experience with that?
Not from coronavirus, but from other stuff, definitely. All the time. Ever since I moved here, it's been nonstop. But it's okay. I'll handle it. It's not uncommon, and it sucks too because it's weird because when I first came to America, my classmates were like, hey, you're from Hong Kong, do you know Kung Fu? I'm like, that's racist, first of all. That's second of all, yes. So
oh my god,
your stereotype was correct.
It's like, yes, I was about to say, I'm like, yes, but not because of that. It's the same thing. They're like, when I tell them I'm like, I'm Hispanic, they're like, so you're Mexican? I'm like, no. And they're like, wait, so you like spicy food? And I'm like, yes, but not because God damn it.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, yes, but
no.
Fine. Yeah, no.
Oh my god, dude.
So
what life.
That's my life. Anyway, I don't want to keep you forever. It's been fun.
Yes. Wait, how long has it been?
I don't mind talking a little bit more, but it's just like I always feel bad. I feel bad. It's like, oh no. Like the last time I talked to someone, they were like, oh, why are you asking me for my handles? Like, what's going on? And I'm really confused. Like, you know who I am? Because I was like, so where can I find you? Or where can people find you? And he's like, why are you asking me? You know my handle.
Was he trolling you?
No, he just didn't know. Time flies by so
Oh,
fast.
okay, okay.
I
Yeah,
enjoy
yeah.
doing this. You know,
I almost forgot we were streaming until I like saw the.
that's a good thing.
Friggin',
No, I saw
yeah.
you saw a glance like, oh, and I started to realize, yeah, I don't know.
I'm like,
This
oh
is
shit, we're streaming.
when are you coming back to LA?
When this quarantine situation isn't that, oh my god. But I want to go like so bad. I miss the food. I miss the people. Everybody is there. Everybody
Yeah.
is there.
Or
You're
just, you know,
there. When are you coming to Vegas? Huh?
Your stuff is more close than ours, I feel like.
They wanted to open the casinos like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, really? You're
That's
gonna open the
literally-
fucking casinos? And literally the worst thing that you could do in the middle of a quarantine is open the casinos.
That is literally a gamble, but life.
Yeah, an actual, yes, a gamble on life. Oh my god, wouldn't that be poetic? Jesus Christ. Yeah. But
Like-
as soon as like everything gets better, I definitely want to go out to LA, see everyone. Yeah.
I used to go every September with some friends, but not sure anymore to Vegas.
Yeah.
Like, so I have a question. I'm not sure you know, but if we have the antibody, does that mean we won't get it, or does it mean that we just got it before?
Well, it's been a long time since I've used my biology degree, but
You have a biology degree?
I think yeah, yeah, but I don't think it's valid anymore, to be quite honest, because I graduated in 2013. So, but I don't. It mutates. I think it's like the flu where it like mutates. So like technically you can have an antibody, but like you can still get it. That's why you have to get regular flu shots. So
what if I keep getting it so I'll be immune to it? Just microdose, you know?
Microdose like shrooms and like
shroom,
poison.
yeah,
Just
you know,
microdose
exactly.
everything.
That's how you get immunity, you know?
Oh my god!
It's like a gun,
Well,
you know, just take mini bullets.
You'd be putting other people at risk.
But we're in America. We don't care about other people.
Oh,
it's
America,
always
yeah.
about me.
My god.
Please don't,
America
guys. I'm
is
just kidding.
so dumb. Most of Florida. Every time some shit happens in Florida, because I'm from Miami, everyone's like, your people are at it again. I'm like, listen, I've been on the West Coast for like 6 years. Please don't lump me in with them.
Every time I look at the news, like how crazy this is, just maybe like that's a Florida level of crazy.
Florida, always. It's always them. It's because we're sinking, all right? Florida is sinking, okay? They're just like, dude, we're going to be underwater soon. Just do the thing. They don't think about whether they should. They're just like, do it, man. Fucking. Did you see that picture? I don't even know if it's real, but there was like a picture that went viral on Twitter of like 2 cars, and there was a car like parked on top of it.
Oh, yes.
Wow. Like a guy like drove up, apparently, like the 2 cars and like parked like on top of 2 cars, and they were like, Florida, dude.
And the other person just like on their phone and go like, yeah, I guess I'm still on here. It's like, hey, where are you? On the car? No, you're inside car. No, I'm in a car on a car.
Oh my god, stunt baller. So he's my mod in my, and he's from Miami too. So apparently he saw it. He says that yes, that's real. So my people, our people.
It feels like a monster truck event. Just Sunday.
Literally, but that's what it looked like, a monster truck event, but it was like a regular car. Like on top
of a normal day.
It wasn't even it was like a Cadillac or something, like a standard, like fucking, like normal Cadillac. I'm like, what is that doing up there? Like, what is going on? Like the quarantine really got, and they pushed it out for another month too, like until like June or something.
I mean, they have to push us in like later to open up, or
like earlier? Push the quarantine. Yeah, later to open up. Yeah, like they're pushing the stay-at-home quarantine. Yeah. I mean, some places I think in the U.S. are still. Are open, right? No? Or is it all of the US is still under quarantine?
It's half. It's hard to say because you have the problem of how do we enforce it well, and would that make government look bad? You know, because you're literally telling people to lock themselves at home. And that's such a non-American thing to do. You know?
Yeah. But it's not like but I don't know if it's like nationwide. I'm pretty ignorant on this.
It's not state. It's based on the state. So it's state power. Okay. Yeah, because they don't want to use it as a national power. But also they can also put the blame on the state if it happens, if something goes wrong. It's like, hey, you guys decided to do this, so you guys fucked up, you know.
How is it in LA? Like, are they pushing it out? Like,
I have heard
what's the current status?
I have heard that on Saturday they're opening up trails, but you have to wear a mask. That's what I heard, but I'm not sure what are the changes. I don't know. But here's the thing too, even if it instantly opened up, I don't know what to do. Like just because I don't mind, people still mind. So I can't be like, hey, you guys want to do shoots? Like I feel bad because then if they
Yeah.
say, because you don't want people to say no, it always leave a bad taste in people's mouth. So you want to ask when the time is right.
Yeah. But I think
Yeah.
that like if you take like like we still go out to get groceries. Like what are we supposed to do? Like we have to go get groceries, you know.
Are you
So
not getting groceries these days? Because I am.
yeah, well, but people are like, oh, you gotta stay home, and I'm like, yeah, but like so there's like a bunch of like people, like we're all like crawling out of our house to like go get groceries and like be semi-normal people, but like even then it's like everyone, you know, you gotta wear your mask and everyone is, you know, like wearing the gloves and like the plastic and everything. And
I'm surprised gas company are not. I mean, maybe they are. We just don't know about it. Maybe they're the one who pushing it to open up because people are not using as much gas. So they got to lose a lot of money.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think I think it was the Joe Rogan. I don't know what podcast I was watching that they were like, oh, the value of the gas went into the negatives, but the way that but the way that works is that the value is based on like how much you can sell it for in the future or something, which is why it's in the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't affect us because we don't. That value isn't important to us. It's really for the people like. Selling the
econ thing stuff.
Yeah, the econ. Yeah.
First in, first out, or last in, last out kind of thing.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. But it is everything, bro. The economy, the health, everything is just like, what do you do? Like, what do you really do? And everyone's like, well, this is stupid, and that is stupid, and this decision is dumb. And I'm like, bro, but like, you don't know. Like, no one has a pamphlet, a manual for how this is supposed to go. And like,
nobody have done it before.
When we have the dumbest motherfucker in office to even execute on the pamphlet anyway. So like, what the fuck are we supposed to do?
So Hong Kong and Singapore are doing like really well, like dealing with this pandemic, right?
Yeah.
And then me as a Hong Kong person, I'm kind of proud about that. And then I'm seeing American like doing dumb shit. I feel like that one meme where it's like James Franco being hanged. It's like, first time.
Oh no.
So yeah, I mean, I feel like they're doing okay. They can do a lot better, but people don't know what they're doing, and that's rightfully so. They shouldn't know what they're doing. It's the first time.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I feel like we're all learning, you know, as it goes on, and it's hard because like the risks are high. You know, you're gambling with people's lives. You know, the people who are in charge, the people who are essentials. You know, they're involved with people's lives, and if they take the wrong decision, if they gamble at the wrong time, like things can go really, really wrong. So I understand that, you know, that things are difficult, you know.
I have an unpopular opinion. You ready?
Oh no, I'm not ready ever for unpopular opinions.
Here's the thing. I feel like okay, no, I can spin it so it sounds better. You know, it is the government's fault that we weren't prepared enough. Now we have to force essential worker to be heroes when they don't have to be sacrificing or risking in the first place. But it's weird to use the word heroes because I feel like, I don't know, I'm to the point that like, you know, my income's not coming as great, and then also, what if I want to be a hero? If I go start working at a grocery store, does that make me a hero? It just seems like a weird sense.
So your unpopular opinion is that the word hero shouldn't be used?
I feel like it should not be used this way, you know? It's the same way of how terminology is used, right? Like someone that is like the word beautiful, right? People be like, oh my gosh, you're so brave, you know? And then like people, oh, you're so brave. They wear a onesie to a bikini to the beach. You're like, okay, then what about firefighters running into the fire? You know, like, I mean, it's a different type of brave, but then maybe we use a different word for it.
I see what you're saying. But I feel like there are definitely people over exaggerating with the word hero, but I think that what is undeniable is that the people who are essential workers are definitely putting their lives at risk, regardless of the terminology used.
But so, I feel like it's not their, but the things that they're forced to be taking risks, and it's not their fault. That's the problem.
You know? Oh well, that is 100% a problem, but. It's like we were talking about, like no one has a manual, so what do we do? You know, like like we don't know, like should we tell everyone to not work? Like do we stop? Like it's so like hard. Like I can't even imagine being in a position where like I have to manage people
decision.
and tell that, like, make a decision. Like, I would not be able
Mhm.
to make a decision in that
And it's the same
situation.
as like
I
I'm
wouldn't know.
an economist, so it's like
Yeah.
same thing with money, right? If they
Yeah.
announce something ahead of time, people will take action and do dumb shit. Same thing with like pandemic, right?
Yeah.
If you tell them it's
Yeah.
how bad it actually is, people might do very dumb shit. So you might have to lie to
Yeah,
them,
yeah.
but then you're lying to the people. So to decide,
Yeah.
that's how we got the toilet
But
paper
it's one of
situation.
yeah. I mean, it's one of those like panic impulses.
Reaction. Yeah.
It's the popular like, I don't even know if theory is the right word to call it, but they're like, oh well, like if aliens really existed, you know, like they couldn't just tell us because everyone would fucking freak out.
Oh yeah.
Which is a lot of the theory is like, oh well, they exist in Area 51, but they're not telling us because they don't want everyone to fucking freak out. So they're like trying to figure out what. Yeah, like, you know, it's one of those things where honestly, like, I would understand it because, like, what do you do with like everybody freaking out? I mean, listen, they didn't really already exist, and then you had everyone Naruto running into fucking Area 51. So, like, you know, like.
But like 2 weeks ago, have you seen that? 2 weeks ago, they're like, oh, by the way, here's some footage that we had, so hope you guys feel better.
I didn't actually watch it. Did you watch it? Did it actually look like UFOs?
I don't know. It's so grainy. Anyone can make those videos. Even like I have really low video editing skill. Even I can make it. It's a white dot flying really fast. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. So
aliens are.
It's weird. I mean, even if they do exist, what I'm gonna do with it? You know, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't do anything with it, but I think it would be interesting for those that do have like people who are involved in the health and technology and all of that, you know, fields. Like they could definitely. I mean, not that we would quote unquote do anything with it, but they would do something to us, right? Like it would do something to us, or we could do something with it in the sense that like we have the knowledge that like it exists, you know.
I mean, if anything, it will unite us eventually, because right now we are competitive against each countries-wise. Like. I don't like you, I have to be better than you, until we have like a outside force.
Common.
Yeah, it's like I hate you, it's like, but fuck them, you know. Then that become a problem. God. Yeah. But speaking of like biology stuff earlier, I just want to bring up a story that I really enjoy and I think is so crazy and stupid. Remember the panel I did at Comic-Con? And then one person was like, so we know we all gone through about talking about how you should, you know, get into industry and all the stuff and all background, how I got to where I am. I told the story of how I decided to make the jump, right? But I just really like how that one person was like, so I just got out of college, you know, or going to be out of college soon. I'm in school. I want to know how can I start my arts career or whatever. And I was like telling them like, you know, gradually, you know, get a job, get some experience, da-da-da-da. And then Art Germ standing right next to me. I was like, fuck that shit. Just go straight into it and do whatever you love. If you don't like it, start a company, and you hate that, leave that company and start another company. I'm like, what? Like, you're talented and you got like really good at it. It's like not everyone can just like go start a company.
Well,
like,
you know what's funny is that what really impacted me of what he said, he was like, oh, I'm like my biggest fan. Like the fact that he like really liked his art, that blew me away. I was like, wow, like he really just draws and he's like, I'm my biggest fan. Like I just really like what I do. And I think that regardless of whether you're good or not, like if you continue with that mindset, which I don't want to like project and I don't want to like misrepresent what he's saying because I don't really know what he meant. But to me, that's what it sounded like he was trying to tell them, was that like if you just keep doing you and you really like go for it and continue with it, you eventually will make it regardless. So but just dive into it.
Though? Is that true? Is that just a saying?
It really is. Well, people are like, well, how do I want to start a comic? Like, how do I start? I'm like, you started. You just fucking started. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing still. You know, like I was like, I want to do this thing. I'm going to try and do it. And like, if it fails, it fails. And if it succeeds, it succeeds. And here we are, you know, like there's no like, and every comic artist that I've talked to has a different process. So it's like, at the end of the day, you make your own process for literally everything. So
that's the thing. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But people don't say when it doesn't. It's like someone who win the lottery. It's like, yes, put all your saving and money into lottery. You will win if you just try hard enough. They don't like no.
Well,
every success case is because they work hard.
Whoa, wait. Because you can put your all into something, but it also you have to be realistic. Because I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that implying that you risk something. I say that only in like a low risk sense. Like I wouldn't say like leave school and like leave your house and like put all your savings into, like I would never say that.
But
I
imagine
would
you did
say
not go
just
to school. Imagine you spent that 4 years started earlier in
wait,
your
what do you
career.
mean?
Like, because you said you went to school for bio and stuff, right?
Okay. Well, here's what happened with me, which is why I tell everyone that everyone's path is different. While I was in school, the reason I started drawing, what I started drawing, was because like I wanted to like make money because my parents wouldn't let me have a job. They were like, you need to study and blah blah blah. And I used to draw when I was younger, and I got introduced to digital art through a friend in high school. And she was like, you can draw on this piece of plastic. Like when tablets first came out, she was like, you can draw on this piece of plastic and it comes out on the computer. I'm like, wait, what? And then she was like, DeviantArt. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah. And I charge people to like draw on DeviantArt. I was like, what? And so like, I just like, she gave me her old tablet and I started like learning how to use it. And so like, I would take like $3 like chibi commissions like online, like to make money. And so like, I would find a way to like study and like make money online. And so I did that all throughout like high school and college. But all throughout high school and college, I always wanted to be like a doctor. Like I wanted to go to medical school and become a doctor. And the only reason that I didn't was because by the time that I graduated college, I had amassed a following and good supply and demand where I could make a living off art. And I was like, fuck it, let's try it. Like I had a friend who was an artist who was like, you want to move to LA and be an artist? And I'm like, that sounds like a terrible idea. Let's do it. And so like I went. And I'm still here. And like and for the first 2 years, my mom was like, you know, it's still not too late to go to medical school, because you know how Hispanic and Asian parents are, where they're like,
reverse
it's like 100%. Like there's like, oh, but like they need to brag to everyone. And so she was like, my daughter is gonna become a surgeon and this and that. And then I was like, I'm gonna be an artist. And she's like, don't do that. And I was like, well, here we are. So yeah, so I got lucky. Like I tell people, like, honestly, like I went to school and I didn't go to school for art, but during that time I was drawing and I was posting my things online and growing my audience online. And the only reason that I can do this for a living is because I took that time, which I got lucky that it overlapped with school. Because a lot of people like have to do that part while they're working. Like, you know, while they've already graduated school, which is tough because they're like, well, I work and then I'm tired and I have to like, now I have to draw and grow my online presence. And it's tough. Like although technically I had to like juggle it with school, but I would not compare that to like having to work a 9 to 5 every single fucking day and like being tired. That is hard.
That is similar to what I've been doing. But I mean, I did multiple routes, but I also started because I was in school. And I think it's a good, easy escape when you're in school to find out what you like. So it's hard, you know. It's just everyone, as you said, the path is different. Sometimes it works for you. Yeah. You can't just go the same way everyone did it. You know? And if you're lucky enough,
what I tell people is that you have to find a way to make it work for you. If you can find a way to make money off like there's always a way. Like you just have to puzzle it. You have to Tetris it in your head and say, I want to do this, and then you have to work backwards and say, how do I get there from point A to point B? Find point B and then work backwards and find a way to make it work for you. And that path will be different for everyone. And there's a way to do it.
So people always ask you advice, like, how can I be a famous artist on the internet?
Yeah.
And
it's hard because it's like, I don't know, like it's different for example, like I could tell you, well, go online and make fan art and do that and like easy exposure, or like do like draw 18 plus drawings. But then people like Loish exist, right? Loish has been someone who like, she has done fan art, but for the most part, she's crafted an entire career off not only being extremely like have an extremely good work ethic, but like a lot of her drawings are original, you know?
That's
so
hard.
Like, yeah, it's hard. And it's like, if she can do it, so can you. So it's like, at the end of the day, you don't have to, there's no dictated path. People are like, oh, well, you can just get famous doing fan art. And I'm like, yes, you can. But then there's also Loish. There's also other people that have done it without that. So it's like, you have to craft your own path on what works for you,
so
you know, based on what you want to do.
For me, I could put it under parody, but also photography is a bit different. But can you draw like your artwork because it's some other IP? How does that work? Like if you draw a Disney character, Like, is that allowed? Are you allowed to draw a Disney character? Are you allowed to commission a Disney character?
So actually, like I had made a tweet a while ago about like what people thought about like fan art and like selling it. And I did some Googling, and I think I don't know, like I read some like articles on like copyright law, and I think technically you're not even allowed to draw it.
That's what I think.
Technically, I think you're not even allowed to draw it.
There is a loophole though. If you draw it sexy enough, which is ironic,
like if you draw it different enough, like
no, that's different. Draw it very sexy, so it could be under parody. Then that's fine. It's so strange, yeah.
But parody doesn't have to be sexy. Like you can.
No. But because like their image is so family friendly, like let's say Mickey Mouse, right?
Oh, you're talking about Disney specifically.
No, for example, but almost any brand, right? Because they don't have like a Mickey Mouse with a dick, or like Captain America with a dick out, So then they're like, if anytime anything occur, I think the way it's just like, well, that's not your character. Are you saying I'm copying you because does your Mickey Mouse has a dick like that? Then they're like, well, no, exactly. Then therefore is technically not yours. It's a parody.
But you can like copyright and trademark like very specific things. So Mickey's I think dick? like his ears or something, or like if you make something iconic enough where like even if that thing is a part of like Harley, like the Harley sound, for example, like that specific, like the sound that a Harley makes, I think is like copyright or trademark or something. I don't know which term it is, but like that sound is theirs. Specifically theirs. I think also the sound that I don't know if it's a Porsche or a Lambo, but one of those, the sound of the engine is also.
It's not just vroom vroom.
Yeah, no, like it really is like that to that level. I don't know. Someone might have to correct me on that. But I'm pretty sure.
Vroom on stream. Next thing you know, I can cease and desist.
Cease and desist, yeah. But it really be like that. So especially someone like Disney who like is anal about like all their characters and their IP and everything. Like for example, like nowadays, like the fan art like law is very, very lax. But Disney is known to be one of the ones that is super like Disney and Nintendo. For like if you draw and and they'll send you. Have they sent you a cease and desist before? Or
no. Well, first of all, my stuff is very tricky, right? Mine's are photography, so it's real life, real people. But if anything, I'm also not selling my photos as that character, and also.
But does that count? Because it's like technically it's not the character, right? Like you're dressing up.
Yeah. Also, that's a problem too. Then you come in the problem that if you go after one person, there's so many cases you don't go after, then be unfair treatment. Because that's why like being cosplayer.
But it's like they can't catch everyone either.
Yeah. So it depends how much money you make, and also one of the things that how that works is that are they selling something similar? If they are, then they have a lot more power to go after you because they can prove they're losing money. Because someone's buying from you.
No, I think that's actually like I don't know if that's like a myth, but in general, I think that's how a lot of these companies do it. Where they're like, if they're losing money, or if you're like, for example, like when Cuphead first came out, I think it was either Cuphead or Undertale. I think it was Undertale. When Undertale first came out, the Toby Fox did not allow people to sell fan art of the game because obviously, like they were small. I don't think so. I mean, because it's what we're talking about. Like, like you're a small creator and you want to be able to make money off your IP and game, and you're not big enough that other people making money off your IP doesn't hurt you, No, so
that's what I'm saying. I think it's stupid that they don't allow people to do it. Because like I feel like your brand is not big enough. Then when people start selling fan art, it just get your brand more out there. There will be people discovering things.
Because you can make the fan art without having to sell it. So you can still make the fan art, just not sell it. They just don't want you to sell it because it's like, dude, like I'm like a small creator. If people were selling, like if people were selling like prints and stuff of like my characters, I'd be like, dude. What?
Yeah. That'd be
like
weird.
What? Like I'm trying to like I'm one person, like tiny, like I barely make money off that to begin with, and then other people are making, like I'm not big. Like a lot of these companies justify it that like Riot Games and all this, like Like
Mhm.
we're fucking huge. Like you can make your fan art and fucking like sound like we don't give a shit.
It doesn't
Like
cost. Yeah, it doesn't affect them at
it
all.
doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't affect them at all. Which is why like a lot of people, when they said that when Undertale first came out and they said that, like a lot of people were very like thankfully very respectful about that. And then eventually when Undertale blew up and it got really big, he was like, okay, now you can make the fan art and sell it, and we're okay with
It
that.
could have backlashed really badly if it wasn't dealt properly for them.
Wait, what do you mean?
Like if they were just straight up like, oh, you can sell fan art, and someone's like, how dare you? You know, we're just trying to support and then all this stuff, and people can get mad easy. You know.
I don't doubt that there was that one or two people that probably
Always.
said that, but in general, like I feel like it's a very reasonable thing to ask. Like, hey, can you not sell, you know, fan art of this thing that is very small and we're
That I
like a
spent
small,
years
you know,
making.
yeah. I think it's very reasonable.
Are you
to ask
working
that.
on any comics or anything? Is that a goal? It's like, is there like
Oh,
a project that you want to
God.
work on?
I am working on, yes, I have like a comic, we'll call it, yes. And
Is it like a webtoon style, or like what are we
it's like
talking about?
it's like a American comic slash anime manga style, and I say that because like it's in color, but
Okay.
it's like formatted like a manga kind of like an American comic, but like the style is like kind of anime, semi-realistic. A lot of people tell me that it's like anime, it's like manga and American comic mixed.
Okay,
And
that's
I
good.
do it like I want to do it like I semi do it full time, but it takes me so long to make the pages because not only do I have to like juggle a bunch of other things in order to make income, but it's all in like color. Like everything is like colored, and like I take like an insane amount like doing like details and everything. So it's really time consuming, and a lot of the times too, like a lot of my viewers know I'm like super anal about like details or like the emotions like that I'm portraying. And so like if I'm not happy with how something is coming, like I won't like I would rather like take forever to post it than to post it and like like it. So
because once it's out there, it kind of
she's redone like dude. Well, the comic came out in like 2014. And in that amount of time, I literally only have how many chapters do I have? Like 5, I think, or something. Like it's not that many. But I have like I draw content for it like every day. So like it's not like I'm just kind of like waving it off. Like I still create content for it, but the comic goes slow. Like I just like drawing the characters, and I like drawing them in like different scenarios, and I like growing the characters like over the years. And so because the comic came out so long ago, there was a time where I redrew like 2 entire chapters. Jeez. Like I literally didn't like sleep for like a month or like a month and a half, and I redrew like a lot of the chapters. Like I was not happy with them. I was like the characters were not the same people, Martin. Like even like the characters now, like to me my characters are like real people. So like when I draw them, like I picture like real like people, and so like over the years the characters themselves have grown. Not in just the way I draw them, but like the way that they are, and like the faces they make, and like the gestures. And so and so like to me, like when I saw those old chapters, I'm like, it wasn't just that the art was bad, it's that they weren't the same people.
Not them. So
it's not them. So I had to like go back and like make sure that it was them.
How
so
far
I
you want to take
like
this?
redrew.
How far you want to take this comic?
I actually thought about like stopping the sequential comic, like stop telling it sequentially and start doing like vignettes where I just like do random chapters of like random points in the characters' lives, because that's really what I want to do. Because I do have like the story in my head, but I think it's stressful to like constantly have to like I take so long to like tell the story that it almost gets to a point where like I lose momentum, and the people that are reading it like get confused because I take so long to write the story. So, but I do love the characters a lot, and I do love like I would draw them forever, Martin. Like I could draw them forever. Like I love them a lot, and I could literally draw them forever. But the story in and of itself, I think loses a lot of momentum because of how long it takes me. So I think that if I switch the format to just drawing like vignettes,
Point of
like
life.
yeah. I think the format would be better that way, catered to like the pacing that I'm drawing it at. And in general, a lot of people just like are interested in the characters and their stories. And I think I would be able to get through more of the characters that way than if I were to tell the story sequentially. Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want to know about this character. And I'm like, okay. But with the pacing that I'm fucking drawing the story at, this character doesn't show up to like chapter 8. And if it took me like fucking like 4 or 5 years to draw like 3 or 4 chapters, so like this is like the Final Fantasy remake all over again. Like it's gonna take me like 10 years to fucking get there. So I'm like, listen, honestly, if I just switch the shit to vignettes, you'll get it all. Like we can go through all the characters, because Martin, at this point, I have like 15 characters, and I draw them all pretty regularly.
That's a lot.
I have 4 main characters, but all the other, and Martin, each character has a fan base. And like they all, and I love them all. And I draw them all regularly, but some of these characters don't show up until much later. And I'm like, bro, like, and not even to get to the backstory of each character. Like I'll be like 70. I'll be like 70 and I'll never fucking get there.
Here's a tricky question then.
Yeah.
If a company were to approach you and say, all right, we want to, buy this, or, whatever, we want to publish it or something, it will make that become your life. Do you want it? Or is that more like become a job thing? Then you're like, no, then I don't want it. I will hate it. See, I told you.
I think it would depend. Well, it's only tricky because with those companies, it would depend on the terms. Because, for example, I had considered getting it published, like getting it under a name. But a lot of the times, either they want the rights and they want to tell you how to write the story, or there's certain things that you can't put in your story. Like this story, first of all, the story is about people in prison. So the level of problematic is already through the roof. So like there are a lot of things in the stories of the characters that cannot be changed. To make the character that it is, it cannot be changed. And a lot of these places, they'll tell you like, you know what, maybe we don't want that in the story. And I would not be able to compromise on that. So things like that, or like they'll be like, oh, we want you to release this amount of content in this amount of time. And I'm someone who, if I'm not ready to release that type of content, like I won't release it. Like I don't care. So depending on the terms, like I wouldn't want to do it. But if they're good, like I would 100%.
But it's
like,
rare, right?
If I could make it my living and drop everything and just do that.
No, I know,
like,
same thing.
100%.
Like I know Adobe has a program, but I'm sure I won't get it. But it'll be really rare when a company's like, here's a bag of money, just make whatever the fuck you want, and we'll just help sponsor it. You're like, yes, that's too good.
But that's the dream.
That is the dream.
That's the fucking dream. But that's what Patreon, like, honestly, like, I'm so grateful, like, for Patreon, because, like, that's what that feels like to me, is that people are so generous and kind to support my art in general, like, no matter what I make. And that's what it feels like, that they contribute to any sort of art that I make, and that I could just wake up and create, knowing that like that's what they want to support. That's what it feels like. It's like an art sponsorship. Like that's what they give me.
Gotcha.
And so
what do you put on your Patreon?
I post like literally everything. I post like sketchbook. I draw so much in my sketchbook now. So like I post that. I post like me working on the comic, like whenever I do, like it's like sneak, like those the pages of like the latest chapter that I've been working on, like they've been seeing it for like weeks now. Like anybody's like, when are you gonna upload? I'm like, dude, just go on Patreon. Like it's been there for like ages. Like if you want to see it, like it's there. Sometimes like I'll stream. I'll post like process videos. Like I post like everything, and we have like a section in the Discord and everything, and like I post everything on there. Like there's a drawing that I've been working on for like the last week, and they've all been seeing it because I've been spamming them, but like I posted nothing about it on socials. So they get a lot of like really cool like behind the scenes, me having meltdowns mostly because I'll be working on a drawing for like 8 years, and I'm like, guys, I'm losing it. It's been like 24 hours and I haven't slept, and they're like, oh my god, this bitch is still fucking going. Like, can you please stop? like, you paid for this meltdown.
You signed up
right?
for this. You know what you're getting yourself into.
No, I love him. We roast each other. I would have it no other way. So yeah, no, it's really nice. I'm honestly really grateful. They really, I get worried sometimes though, because I'm like, because they're paying for me to create art, not only do I feel like I have to constantly produce, but I have to constantly produce like really, really good stuff. So sometimes like if I'm experimenting, like I feel like it won't be good enough and that they'll not be getting their money's worth. So I'm like,
I know,
should
I
even
understand.
be doing
Because
this?
it's so hard to put like a value amount on what we do.
Yeah.
So it's like, how do I decide like this is worth $5? This is
Yeah.
like, what does that mean?
Is that how you feel when you're like taking people's pictures or like editing or something, where you're like, is this worth like?
So what frustrated me now is that when people post, I hate the word set because I was never a set photographer. It's like, oh, this is my favorite set. It's like, no, it's like 2 photos or like 1 sometimes even. And I don't meant to shoot it as a set, but because of internet culture and how people buy things, they want set of photos, and it frustrates me when, and I get it, again, no hate on them, it's just how a concept is annoying.
Yeah, it's just how it is.
It's that like when people say, oh, this set of photos have 500 photos, like why? Like it's just you with 500 looking exactly the same, slightly different. You're going like this and like this. That's your hand, your dumb move a little bit, and that's it. And like but that's how they value it, and I'm kind of like, so I don't know how I can provide my value that people. So what I do have a Patreon right now. One is it's very low maintenance. One is like bonus content from this show. The other one is, I mean, of course they add up by like to each level. The next one is like the 4K. Like I call it 4K, even though it's just a buzzword. It makes no sense when it comes to photos. Like, but high def photos that like really high resolution photos that they can have from stuff that I post. And the last one is like a postcard. They don't actually like a lot here. Hold on.
Oh, let me see. I was about to ask you what you post, because like being I always find Patreon. That's what I tell people. I'm like, honestly, like if you want to make a living nowadays, you just have to find a way to make money off like what you do and what you're good at and what you like. And there's a way to do it. Like Patreon is so good at like offering a platform for that. Like you can literally post anything on there.
It's good because like it make people they can self-sustain instead of going through like a publisher or something like that. So I used to do this a lot, and I want to get back into this. But these are postcards. They're huge too.
No, those are big.
But they're postcards. There's
my postcards are like this big. Those are fucking
and then it's so they're double-sided, full colors.
Wow.
Cosplay photos, shorted.
So what is that? Those are for like
used to be hella cheap. I used to make it like $8. Now we raised it to 15. But yeah. But it's double-sided, full colors. They're like jumbo size. So that's I mean, the reason I have it is just because I like my photos in print. That's it's the main reason. It has nothing to do with like, oh, I want because this is something you guys wanted. Yes, they will want it too, but I also want it because it's pretty. I like it.
Yeah, no. I mean, there's something about having like your art, like that you can touch it, like tangible. Because now in the age of like the digital age, everything is like on a screen and stuff. But when you can like touch it, it's why lately I've been like really on the sketchbook, like that I can draw on a piece of paper and like it's there in front of me, and that's the only copy sometimes too. It feels nice. Like that I can like touch my work.
Especially the way I edit my photos. They're meant to be blow up to a giant size printed. That's how I made them. Like that's why it takes 2 or 3 hours to edit my photos. I really
because you like zoom in like all the way.
To be honest, I'm more of a retoucher than a photographer. Most people see those as same person. I am just so happen to be same person. But for lots of people are two different people, Sometimes photographers take the photos, they send it out, and then the editor, the retoucher, touch it up. I've been doing Photoshop longer than I have done photography. I've been editing for over 15 years. No, 20 years.
Wow.
I've been editing for over 20 years, shooting for over 15.
That's why you had those Photoshop shortcuts that you were like.
Yeah. So I know Photoshop pretty well. But so I hope people like this kind of stuff, and I want to, hopefully this can be a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I will definitely have to.
It's a strange concept. So, anyway, this has been fun. We should do this more.
Yes. Yeah, no, this was nice. This was a nice catch. I keep forgetting that we're streaming. Yeah.
No,
oh my God. Thank you so much for having me. I honestly was so worried. I was like, dude, I'm not going to have anything to talk about. It's going to be so boring. Everybody on Discord that follows my Patreon knows I've been in the hole just drawing and drawing and drawing and drawing. I haven't like seen somebody else's face and talked to them in so long. I was like, dude, Martin's going to fucking kick me off the podcast.
I see it as a compliment. There's people who I've been talking to people and they're just telling me that's like, oh, you're a conversationalist. That's interesting. Like, things I do. And I didn't realize that it's not common for everyone. But because I'm an extreme extrovert, I can talk about anything and get people to talk to me as well.
Yeah.
It's always been
it was really. Thank you so much for having me, dude. This was really fun. Yeah, for sure. If you ever
before you
want
go,
to have me again,
where can people find you? And also, where'd you get OhNips from?
Oh God, the famous question.
That has to be like it has. Like,
it does have to be a question. People always ask me, they're like, does it have to do with your nips? I'm like, oh my God. I don't blame them because the name is Nips, so it's like inevitably people are gonna ask like, what's wrong with your nips? You know. And then I have to tell them nothing is wrong with my nips. But it was just, long story short, I'm from Miami, so a lot of people are Hispanic there. And so I had a friend in high school who came up to me and he was like, oye, ni poo-poo, one day, randomly, ni poo-poo. I don't know where the hell that came from, but he called me that and it kind of stuck. Like he just kind of like kept calling me that. And then it got shortened to Nipoo, like Nipoo. And that became my art handle for a long time. And it was Go Nipoo. Yeah, my mom loved it. And then eventually I had a friend who was like, yo, that sounds like nipple. Like Nipoo sounds like nipple. And so she started calling me Nipples. And then eventually that kind of became Nips. And then I kind of just like took Nips and I was like, oh, that'd be funny. But then Nips, like obviously I can't just use Nips as a handle online. And I think Go Nips was taken, so I switched it to OhNips. So that's how OhNips became to be. Yeah.
Gotcha. What about
nothing is wrong with my
nipples? You need a pamphlet every time someone like just like Dumbledore saying there's a Nightbot command. I'm sure you do.
It's a knife, or maybe something is wrong with my nipples and I'm lying.
You'll never know.
Maybe you'll never know. You'll never know. Maybe when I open my OnlyFans, maybe you'll.
Dude, but your photos are already very sexy, you know? I appreciate it. Under boobs, good choice.
Dude, under boob is like my favorite. That's another trope that I have in drawing.
Underrated.
That's why every time I draw some shit, people are like, you're just drawing yourself. And I'm like, isn't it normal to draw the things that you like to see on yourself? Like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so that's where Nips came from. You can find me on Twitch. I stream. I will be streaming again tomorrow. Twitch.tv/OhNips. On Instagram at Casual Nips. On Twitter at OhNips. And and I have my new website,
artbynips.com.
Yeah. Look at me being fancy and official. There's some not safe for work art on there that you can buy homework too and everything.
What and on Patreon. Where'd you get off sale from?
Oh my God, that one is part of the story. So in 50 years, when I get to the chapter that explains it, you will know too what that means. But in general, it just sounds kind of cool. We'll leave it at that.
I scroll up to our Twitter conversation and like, because I need to check like what we said about and just in case I look up something. But every time I do that, I just get that not Spider-Man upside down kiss picture. I really thought it was a Spider-Man kiss, but it's not.
Oh my God. I clear like all my DMs, like always, like I delete them. So I have like no history. Yeah, so I wouldn't know. Like you just reminded me that existed but I don't have it in my history because I just delete all I'm anal about keeping everything clean. So I don't have anything.
It's good stuff though. I like it. All right.
Anyway. Where can they find you, Martin?
We're gonna find me. Of course, you can find me on Martin Wong Photo on everything: YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
all your
TikTok.
8 Instagram accounts, which I now have to check out.
Yeah,
your verified TikTok.
Of course, you know. I mean,
that's right. I'm on TikTok now too. Casual Nips. Go check it out.
I joke around sometimes too. It's like, oh, you're not verified. I'm sorry, you can't talk to me.
Are you gonna get me verified? I'm not verified on anything. Although I don't have enough followers to be verified on anything.
Oh, shut up! You have a huge Twitter follower and everything.
And you're verified on everything, and I'm not. So are you gonna fix that for me? Are you gonna help me out? going on, Martin Wong
I
photo?
just talk to some friends, I just a little talk. I put them aside, say, hey, I need this to be done. If you catch my drift, and then they get it done.
Oh my god. Well, thank you again, Martin, for having me. This was really fun. I hope that your podcast gains a lot of success and traction. You deserve it. You work really hard. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Stay on the call. I'm going to end the stream, but thank you so much, everyone, for watching and joining and all the follows and everything. I hope you had a great time, and I'll see you all not next week, but the week after. So, bye.